single live rep we could get. We have not been to the playoffs. It feels like in a decade. I know it's shorter than that, but what are we doing?
Well, listen, and I understand the injury concern, but injuries happen in football. Injuries happen in practice. We just talked about Jalen Walker and Darnell Mooney. Like, they happen all the time. You can't keep these guys in bubble wrap. Injuries are explainable, right? You know what's unexplainable? If you walk into a week 1 matchup with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and you're flat, go look at the last Falcons week 1 matchups. They have been abysmal. Abysmal. If you walk in there and Michael Penix isn't playing up to his level, that's going to be on Raheem Morris. So that's something to watch for. That's all we got today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you like what you saw, check us out on Fox Local.
Hey guys, thank you so much for choosing to stream with us for your headlines and all the cool things happening right around you, as well as your weather forecast. And that's why we're here with our meteorologist, Alex Forbes. Alex, what's going on out there?
I tell you what, this weather forecast is a little different from what I'm used to over the past couple of weeks. So we've seen 90s and hundreds for actual temperatures. We've seen a lot of feels like temperatures, 100 plus. Well, today, not so much. Let me show you the current temperatures right now across the area. It's 75 in Atlanta, 73 in Canton, 72 in Blairsville, 74 in Athens, and 77 over in Eatonton. We are also now already seeing some shower and storm activity, namely in Gwinnett County right now. This is going to be Suwannee, Buford, Sugar Hill, a couple of lightning strikes here in the last little bit. This rain building up towards Barrow County, Hall County, and Jackson counties here in the next little bit. Notice some pockets of heavier rain also extending back into the Cumming area. That's going to be moving over towards Cole Mountain, North Forsyth High School, and into the Gainesville area before too long. Then down on the south side, this is going to be Walton County. Heavier shower just outside of Monroe. Find your way between Loganville and Monroe, running into some of that heavier activity. And then also up in northeast Georgia. So this is going to be from the Jackson, Banks County line right there by the Tanger outlets over towards Madison County, and looking at some pockets of heavier rain extending over towards Hart County and Elbert County, getting close to the Savannah River. So that is going to be the trend today. 20, 40, 60% chance of rain, but look at those temperatures. Struggling to get into the 80s. So most of the day today is actually going to be spent in the 70s here in the metro area. This is how it shapes up on that hour-by-hour forecast. Notice this particular model does not have the storms we have out there right now. So I would expect those to hang around for a little bit. We're not expecting the morning to be completely dry as you see here. But what I am looking for is radar activity this afternoon and a lot of cloud cover. Overall, about a 60% chance of rain today. And then notice through the overnight hours, the activity doesn't necessarily go to bed. We hang on to a bit of shower and storm activity across the area, and then that blossoms once again tomorrow with a lot of cloud cover, a northeasterly breeze, and temperatures stuck in the 70s. So the rain chance today and tomorrow at 60%. Tomorrow with the cloud cover, I mean, man, 74, tomorrow's high temperature is going to be cooler than we are right now at 9 o'clock in the morning here in the Atlanta area. Where you also really feel it is in these morning low temperatures down into the mid 60s for Monday. And if that sounds good to you, let me just show you northeast Georgia. This is going to be places like Habersham County, Rabun County, over towards White County. Temperatures in the low 60s. Dare I say, crisp mornings here across northeast Georgia. But that's northeast Georgia, not the metro. Here's your Fox 5 Storm Team 7-day forecast. 60% chance of rain today and tomorrow. I know you see that little sun icon tomorrow. I might just scribble that out. Oh, no. I think we're just going to see all cloud cover. Maybe a little sun in a couple spots today, but tomorrow, yeah, just ignore that. And then as we get into the week, temperatures slowly but surely getting back into the 80s. So on Good Day Atlanta this morning, I was calling it fake fall, and I stand by that, right? We're going to be in the 70s each afternoon, but that 85 on Friday is not fall.
I mean, yeah, Alex, I'm looking at this 7-day, and I'm just thinking to myself, are we even still in Georgia right now? This is
I know.
August.
Yeah, it's that pattern that we can get this time of year where we get high pressure located up to the north and to the east, and you get low pressure off of the Atlantic. And basically what it does is, it's literally physics, is that it funnels air on the south side of the Appalachian Mountains from places like Virginia and North Carolina, and that's that cooler air. So we get the northeasterly breeze, we get the cloud cover, that's part of it, and we get the cooler temperatures along with it.
Got you. Well, I was watching Fox Weather a little earlier this morning, and I saw that there may be an issue of flooding in the southeast.
Yeah, so
Are we worried about that at all?
no, that's going to be more of a coastal Georgia thing.
Okay.
So there's a front that's stalled out down to the south. Now, that's not to say, we get one of these heavier showers or storms during the afternoons that, Midtown might see street flooding, or Ackworth might see flooding in a couple of spots, but that widespread threat, I think, is going to be further down to the south. And in fact, I think I have in here, let me see if I can pop it up real quick, we call it the excessive rainfall outlook for each day. And let's see if it's in here. I think it is, but it's not jumping out at me. So I'll go dig that up.
Maybe we can talk about it in our next chat with you.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me. All right, and I know a lot of people out there watching are probably getting back to school, and maybe that rain and those lightning bolts don't sound so good to them. But
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're going to school this morning, I think...
this coming week.
Yeah, exactly. No, thousands of kids headed back. You got Atlanta Public Schools, got Fulton County Schools. To me, so we had some districts go back last week, and that was pretty early. This upcoming week is when I usually went back to school. At least in my latter half of my high school years here in Georgia. So I think this is a little more reasonable. Okay. Still not the best in the world, right?
Yeah.
But
for someone who didn't go back to school until after Labor Day in New York, this is crazy.
yeah. Welcome to Georgia.
Thanks for the warm welcome.
Yeah.
Right,
But not today. It's the cool welcome. It's the 70s.
I don't want it. Well, you guys, we'll get back to Alex a little later for more on your forecast, but we are talking about back to school, and we have one of our reporters, Alexa Liaco, all the way out there in Barrow County, where they went back to school this past week. Alexa, can you tell us more about, how parents and how the students are feeling, especially with what happened last year?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, it's been an emotional week here getting back to school at Apalachee High School. We're just shy of the 1-year mark after that horrible shooting that claimed the lives of 2 students and 2 teachers here during just another school day. It was September 4th, 2024. And for the first time, the family of one of those student victims, 14-year-old Christian Angulo, spoke to us and said they were really pleased that Barrow County Schools had taken this safety threat very seriously and has implemented a lot of new safety features for the students who returned back to school just yesterday for their first day. So this upcoming Monday will be the first full week back to school. The brother of Christian Angulo said he's happy at what's already happened as far as implementing some new metal detectors, implementing more school resource officers, getting brand new phones in classrooms to help teachers communicate, as well as improved maps for law enforcement to use should there be another emergency. But he said every single day that he wakes up, he misses his brother, and it's an incredible pain that he hopes no other families have to feel.
The void that we feel like for my little brothers is, I don't wish it on anybody. Living in a nightmare, honestly. That's the only way I could explain it. It's like, no matter how many times you wake up, it's the same.
And the family has hired an attorney to look into potentially filing a civil lawsuit. They have not officially filed a formal complaint, but the family of the other young student who was killed, Mason Schermerhorn, is about to personally file a civil lawsuit against not only the Barrow County School District, but also the county sheriff's office out here, saying that there were warning signs that the accused shooter, Colt Gray, was a threat to other students, and those signs were ignored ignored. That complaint says so. They filed that complaint earlier this month. It's a $25 million lawsuit that really alleges that the tragedy could have been prevented had warning steps been heeded and all of those signs kind of really been paid better attention to. And that's the thing that Christian Angulo's family says they want to make sure is really attended to going forward, that any other students that maybe kind of fall into these warning signs or criteria are actually paid attention to and are actually helped, so that, you know, families don't have to go through what their family is currently living through, trying to move forward and live through losing a 14-year-old. Really just a devastating tragedy. But students getting back to classes here on Monday. We've seen a couple cars go into school, sometimes band and other sports teams practice here over the weekend, but very quiet here at Apalachee High School to match the somber mood that was kind of taken over this whole school yesterday as students came here for their first day of class.
Alexa, first of all, thank you so much for that recap of, you know, what the students are going through, what these families are going through. It's a hard thing for me to watch as well, because, you know, back to school is the time you're supposed to be excited. You're supposed to be, the only thing you're worried about is, you know, if you have your supplies, that you have the right outfit on, that your haircut is done. So, you know, I feel for these students, and we will get back out to you a little later to get another update on everything that's happening out your way. Thank you so much. And well, you guys, Alexa did mention a lawsuit in order, but actually the father of that accused shooter he also went back to court while these students were on their way back to school. This is just days after his September trial was postponed. Colin Gray's defense team argues that the search of his home immediately after the shooting was improper. Gray,
no questions were asked.
Gray, his son, is accused of, Gray, the father, is accused of allowing his son Colt access to guns, supposedly knowing that he was a danger before the school shooting even happened. Meanwhile, prosecutors played a clip that shows Colin's unprompted agreement to a search right after the shooting.
No questions were asked, and then the defendant, unprompted, unsolicited, made a statement.
He was under the belief that he was not free to go, that he was not free to use his phone, that he had been escorted from his home, removed to the outskirts of the property, away from the home.
And you guys, just letting you know, whatever happens here is pretty unprecedented. They're trying to decide if parents should be held accountable for their children's actions when it comes to things like these school shootings. And so there are a lot of eyes on this case, as well as what Colt is dealing with now. All right, well, in other news, if you are trying to get around the city of Atlanta today, it's going to be a little difficult. Parts of Peachtree Street are closed. The Atlanta Department of Transportation has issued that closure because they said they're building maintenance at 32 Peachtree Street, which is in downtown Atlanta. Now, that closure has already begun. It started at 8 a.m. and it will continue until 2 p.m. And just so you know, it's not just cars. They also said that the sidewalks will not be accessible during this closure. So if you plan on walking anywhere between Marietta Street Northwest to Walton Street Northwest, you are going to have some problems. There are some detours in effect, and we'll try to get that up online as soon as possible to let you know how you can get around in the meantime. And, you know, in the world of science, the city of Atlanta is going through a little extra in the bug department. An invasive bug species is trying to make Metro Atlanta its new home. You probably remember this little bugger right here. It's called the spotted lanternfly, and it's been spotted in Fulton County. Now, these insects are considered an invasive species. They can kill plants and the trees that are vital to Georgia's ecosystem and our economy. And so they've been telling us if you see them, you're supposed to kill them. We also know that researchers at the University of Georgia are asking for help tracking them down. So if you see one in your area, before you kill it, you can take a photo and then let the University of Georgia know where you saw the bug. Now, coming back into studio, we have some pretty cool events happening around the Metro Atlanta area. Actually, we have our photojournalist, Eli Jordan, out in Duluth for an event that I know my nephew is going to be so excited to see. You're out there with the trains, the trucks, and the tractors, right, Eli?
That's right, Judea. I am in the display yard of the Southeastern Railway Museum in Duluth here. And it's really cool. They got the trains, tractors, and a trucks event going on here today. $19 to get in. It's going on from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. today. So come on out and check it out. But you know what? This is really cool. I mean, I'm very impressed by all these, passenger cars and really cool old train cars and stuff. I mean, I've been out here just like totally forgetting that I was working. But I am out here with volunteer Ben Harrell. And you've been volunteer here for, 10 years now, correct?
Yeah, right about 10 years now.
And so tell me, what can people expect when they come out here today, Ben?
To be able to go through the yards that they've got and see all the collection of different cars and railroad engines that they've got, along with buses. And today they've got trains, trucks, and tractors show. So they'll have a lot of unique antique equipment out here as well, along with special types of equipment that they're used for different types of jobs.
And so, I mean, and when people come out here, I mean, we've got like these passenger cars over here.
Yes.
We can walk through these. We
Absolutely.
can come out here and check them out. And we got the old, the Marta cars out here. And, but Judea, I tell you what, if you come out here, I've already walked through one of these passenger cars. It's kind of creepy, but it's also cool to see what it was like. This is like from the 1930s, 40s, and it is, it's tight in there. I'll give you guys a tour of some of these cars later on. But, if you come out here to the Southeastern Railway Museum, there's, the trains, tractors, and trucks. They're going to have all sorts of things. They're going to have more than just the trains, because these are here permanently. But the people are bringing in tractors and their trucks. We got vintage tractors, vintage trucks. They'll be really, really cool. And I'm just enamored over these passenger cars here. These are like super cool. These are kind of spooky. Where did these cars come from, Ben?
Different railroads that have donated them over the years to the museum. And they've been slowly but surely restoring all of them.
And how hard is it to restore? I mean, you mentioned that
it's a lot. It takes several man hours, a lot of volunteer work that has to go in to get them up to speed to where they can be used.
And, walking on the inside, I noticed like, the floors are wood.
Yes.
And I mean, that's kind of amazing. And, we used to have passenger cars all over the country, didn't we, back before
Absolutely.
The airplanes came, right?
It was the main source of transportation back in the day.
Yeah, I think we should have more of these, because that's the way to see the country, Judea. I mean, you come out, you hop a train, you can ride, and, you take your time. You're down on the ground, you can see the country. You get so much more out of a train ride than flying, I would say. But, later on today, I'm going to give some tours of these really cool passenger cars, and we're going to check out some trucks and some tractors. And that's what's going on out here today. Trains, trucks, and tractors. $19 to get in. Kids up to 12 get in for $13. And it's going on until 5 p.m. today. If you're done with all your back-to-school prep, get on out here. It's going to be a nice, cooler day than normal. It's the perfect day to get out here. And they're going to have a food truck out here as well. And just come on out here and check it out. We'll be out here all day showing you what you'll miss if you don't come out here. Judea?
Eli, listen, you had me once you said there was going to be food. But also, I have a deeper appreciation for trains in particular. My grandfather actually worked on the railroads. He's from the dirty, dirty South in Georgia. And so seeing these out here, and then I know my nephew is at home watching the TV, just geeked about all of this. It's so cool. I'm excited to come out with you a little later to see what else you find. And earlier in Eli's shot,
it'll be cool.
Yeah. Earlier in Eli's shot, he talked to us about the MARTA cars that are out there too, the train cars. And just to let you guys know, if you aren't in the Duluth area, you're trying to find something a little closer to the metro area, MARTA is having a reading and writing family day, which seems pretty cool. Let me tell you all about it. So MARTA is teaming up with Page Turner's Make Great Learners for a free literacy event. So from 10 a.m. today to 1 p.m., your kid can come and get a free popsicle, create their own comic book, and maybe even win some back-to-school prizes and get a custom Breeze card. So also in attendance, you'll have multi-award-winning children's author Derek Barnes. He's going to read from his newest book, I Got You, A Brother's Promise. And the first 100 families that show up will get a free copy of the book and can have it signed by Barnes himself. Like I said, we got some pretty cool stuff happening around the Metro Atlanta area today. Well, don't go too far, because I did get a chance to sit down with a local star. I'm really excited to introduce you to her. Her name is Taylor, and she has a pretty cool job now working with Tyler Perry Studios. She's a new actress, and we'll get more on her, what she's doing now in the acting world and how she got there coming up soon. Hey guys, welcome back to Fox Local. I am joined now with Taylor Ferrar. We are really excited to meet you. I mean, so you've probably seen Sisters, but apparently fans say that Tyler Perry is spicing things up for the summer with Divorced Sisters. Yes. And Taylor plays Kelly. Yes. So not only are you a local, you are from here in Fayetteville, right?
Fayetteville, Georgia. Yep. Yeah.
Born and raised?
Born and raised in Fayetteville, Georgia, but my roots are New Orleans.
Got you. And I know it is really important to you specifically to give back and explain how you got to where you are to other coming up actors and actresses.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like it's super important, especially coming from a small town in Georgia. You don't think that it's possible, but it is. So that's something that's really on my heart to share.
So I love that you started with that. You don't think it's possible, because I did a little digging, and Miss Ma'am, is this you? That's you? Yes. How did you get that? Oh my God. I'm good at what I do, guys. I'm a journalist.
Oh my God, she is good at what she does. I cannot believe you found that.
I have to ask. You, at some point in time, you were studying broadcast journalism.
Oh my God.
But now...
You're a great journalist. I should know that, huh?
But now Tyler Perry is looking at you. You're in a full-blown BET Plus series. Yes. How do you get from here to here? Someone else is wondering too.
Right. Okay. I'll start from the beginning. That is, you threw me for a loop there. It all started when I was in high school and I was in middle school, and I wanted to do acting. I told my parents I wanted to do acting, and they said, all right, let's do it. And I did. I took classes. I focused more on theater. Absolutely loved it, but I did want to get a degree. And I was like, man, I don't want to go to college to study theater. I kind of want to change things up a bit, but still be on camera, still be on camera. So that's why I studied journalism, and I loved it. I did, but once I graduated, I was like, wait, I miss it. I feel like a part of me is not there. And this is super cheesy, but I'm going to say it. But you know the saying, like, if you love something so much and you let it go and it comes back, it's yours to keep. Yep. That's what I did. And I'm still shocked right now that you thought that too.
I'll pull it down so you don't have to look at yourself.
I am not a sports girly. I don't know what happened in that interview.
No, but watching it back, you did do a great job. And that's why, you know, I had to wonder, like, how do you go from this to this? But you clearly thrived in both.
Yeah.
Is there any advice that you would give to somebody younger out there? They want to get involved in acting, but maybe don't know where to start.
Yeah, I absolutely will say do it. It sounds like something so out of reach, but it is. It's reachable, and you can do it. And I know it's a cutthroat like it's so competitive, it's cutthroat, but if you tell yourself it's too hard or it's too challenging and you can't get to it, then it's automatically a no. And that's what I told myself. And then I switched my brain. I said, wait, I want this, and I only get one life to live. Why would I not spend that time fighting for something I really, really want? And that's when I got the call from my agent and said, hey, you booked the show. And I'm a big Tyler Perry fan, so this was so surreal.
A lot of us, especially us here in Georgia.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I grew up watching all the shows, like Medea and the movies, all that fun stuff. It's crazy. Like, this does not feel real.
Sometimes you have to pinch yourself to remember.
On set, I was pinching myself, especially when he walked in. I was like, wait, Tyler Perry, and I was pinching myself. But yeah, that's something I want to just stress and reiterate is do not give up. And it sounds so cheesy, but it's the truth. Like it genuinely is.
And we will get back to working with Tyler Perry a little later. But first, I want to say, Kelly plays Rashida's daughter. So not only are you working with the LaToya Luckett, but also Devon Franklin.
Yes.
What is it like being with so many big stars, but you are still showing up as your most professional self?
Right, absolutely. Well, of course, when I first saw them, I was so starstruck. I love them both so much. LaToya Luckett is amazing, and so is oh my gosh, I call him Pastor Franklin. I get Pastor Jefferson and Pastor Franklin mixed up. It's fine. I have to remind myself, okay, I'm here to work. I'm not here to fangirl. I'm here to work. I will say, when I first walked on set and I saw LaToya Luckett, me and my co-star Jaden were right next to each other, and she said, "Are those my kids? My kids are so beautiful." And of course, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So everybody on set just feels like family, and it's crazy because you grow up watching these people, or you know about these people, especially Devin Franklin's books and everything, and all of his just impactful things that he does. You're like, wait, what is going on right now? For them to be in the room with you, you kind of have to train yourself to be like, okay, I'm here for work. I'm here to do my part. But yeah, they made it super easy because they're just personable, loving people, and I'm not just saying that. Like, I genuinely mean it. So yeah.
Did anybody ever get back to you about what it was that set your self-tape apart from the others, or do you know if you did anything extra that got you the role?
To this day, I have no idea.
They just saw something in her.
They saw something, and I'm super honored. I do know that a lot of us did not get callbacks. Usually you get callbacks. I'm sure the series regulars did get callbacks, but they said, Tyler Perry watched your tape, and he said, yep, I want that. I want that person to play this role. So for him to sit there and choose me, I mean, an honor is an understatement. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, I told you we were going to get back to Tyler Perry. Yes. So working with him, I am sure that there's so much advice, tips, and stuff that he's given you or giving out those on set. Is there anything you would like to share with the audience? Maybe one thing that stuck with you from him?
I will just say that he really is an amazing actor's director. So he's not just like, hey, be sad. He helps you to find why you're sad and why you're reacting the way you're acting. So that really stuck with me as not just, okay, I know in this certain scene I have to be this way. He helps you find that reason why. And he tells you just to not overthink it, just to do it. And a lot of times as an actor, you want to do your best and you overthink it. But it's your worst enemy 9 times out of 10 because you're not caught up in what you're doing. You're caught up on yourself.
Yeah.
So that was the best advice he's given. And not only just him directing me, but watching him direct other people, just taking note of what he's saying to other people. It was such an honor to learn.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, well, and the series, just dropped this new one in June. So you guys can go out and watch it on BET Plus.
Yes.
And also, you're very active on Instagram. If anybody had other questions about being an actor and actress, would those be welcome?
Yes, absolutely. Please do not hesitate to reach out. I love just being there for people and letting them know that their dreams are possible. My Instagram is Ferrar, TayFarrar. Feel free to DM me if you have any questions. I'd love to answer anything. It's possible. It's definitely possible to achieve your dream.
Even here locally, Fayetteville native. Amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you again for joining us. We are going to get you guys a quick break. When we come back, we'll have a lot more content ready for you. Hey guys, welcome back to our stream. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't think I introduced myself to you guys right at the top of the show, but my name is Judea Murray. I'm going to be your host for the next couple of hours. Again, thank you so much for choosing to join us for your headlines and for all the cool things that are happening around the metro Atlanta area. We do want to start you off with some of the more breaking news here in our area. We know that this is the time for back to school. It should be a happy, positive, cheerful time, but for some people, especially those out in Barrow County, it is more about how to move forward after such a tragedy struck them last year. So we do have our reporter, Alexa Liacco, out at Apalachee High School, where they're gearing up for the back to school time. Alexa, what can you tell us about how they're doing out there?
Hey, good morning. Well, yesterday was the first day of school and certainly was a somber mood here on campus. Students and teachers got back to school to some new security measures, metal detectors at the doors when students come into class, as well as teachers, everybody having to go through that new weapon detection system the school employed. No door is left unguarded. New phones in every single classroom to help teachers communicate with emergency services more quickly. The school updated maps for law enforcement, so they have the most up-to-date information on school schematics and as well as a new safety plan in case of future emergencies. The school system saying they really want to take it seriously and put parents at ease that the school is safe. And for the very first time, we spoke with a family member of one of the young victims whose life was taken last September. Christian Angulo, 14 years old, was one of the victims that was shot here at Apalachee High School. His brother said that he is really pleased to see that these new safety improvements are implemented and in place, especially because their other sibling, his little sister, is still attending this school. She said she wanted to make sure that she graduated from Apalachee High School, even though her brother couldn't. She wanted to do it to honor him. The Angulo family said they are really just still shattered into pieces and that it's really hard even to bring, their other daughter here to school and to see her go off every day to class. And so this week, where it's the full first week of class, is going to be certainly very, very emotional. The Angulos did hire a personal attorney. They're investigating whether or not they're going to file a civil lawsuit. Their attorney says he definitely thinks that the safety measures that have been implemented are a great first step, but that more needs to be done.
It's not the time to stop talking about it. We don't have the luxury of pretending like these things don't happen in our area, in our community.
And he said that he's possibly looking into filing a similar lawsuit to the lawsuit that is in the process of being filed right now by the family of the other young student who was killed, 14-year-old Mason Schermerhorn. His mom is in the process of filing a lawsuit. She's filed a formal complaint for a $25 million lawsuit against not only the school system, but the sheriff's office, saying that there were multiple warning signs that were ignored, steps that should have been taken to get the alleged shooter Colt Gray some help or remove his access to firearms so that this tragedy could have been prevented. So the Angulo family says they're not sure if they're going to file at this point, but they are investigating whether or not a civil lawsuit could go the distance here. So that all really casting, a gray cloud over the back to school spirit here. This is, of course, a time where you want students to be energized and excited and not fearful to return to class. But the families that we spoke to say, they're cautiously optimistic and just hoping and praying that what's been implemented here will be enough to prevent another tragedy from happening on this campus.
Thank you, Alexa. And I just have to take my hat off to the families and the faculty and staff out there. You have to be extremely strong to be able to come back better after something like that happens. Thank you for giving us another update. We will try to get back out there with you a little later on for another one. Now, you guys, while speaking of back to school and safety, you are going to need to slow down if you are driving through a school zone. Just as a reminder, the cameras are up and the school zones are in full effect. So as a reminder, last spring, our Georgia lawmakers unfortunately failed to pass a school zone speed camera reform. A lot of people have said that they have been in some of these zones and either the camera or the school zone, they just weren't in sync, and so they've been getting ticketed unnecessarily. And last spring, like I said, our Georgia lawmakers ended their session without passing a reform or a ban on school zone speed cameras. So for the time being, even though there may or may not be some malfunctions happening with these cameras, you're just going to want to make sure you are paying attention to the speed limit and slowing down when you are in those areas. Our kids are back to school. And speaking of back to school, a lot of people are wondering, when is their time to go back? Coming up on Monday, August 4th, we know that Atlanta Public Schools will be back, Clayton County, Cobb County, Rockdale. We have a bunch of more schools listed online on fox5atlanta.com. You could also go to Fox Local, our app, and find out what other schools are going to be going back and when. It looks like there are some schools that won't be going back on Monday, but they'll be further throughout the week, all up until August 8th, which is, I believe, our Friday. So take a look at our list to make sure that you are ready with your school supplies, your backpack, anything else that you may need to have a successful start to your school year. And if you do still need some things to help you get back into the mood of school, 21 Savage, the Atlanta rapper, is hosting his 9th annual It's a Back to School Drive. And this is happening tomorrow, South DeKalb Mall, from 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. So what are you going to get if you go? First of all, you're going to see 21 Savage. That's probably cool enough. But there are also going to be free school supplies. They'll be giving out free haircuts, food, and a lot more. Again, this is one thing that we have up on our website, fox5atlanta.com. Again, you could also go to Fox Local to find out more information. We also have a fuller list of other back-to-school giveaways all around the state of Georgia. So if you are not in DeKalb County and you're trying to figure out how you can take advantage of one of these things, just head onto our list and scroll until you see something that fits you. All right, you guys, coming back on into studio, I want to get you a look at your forecast. We've been talking about back to school, and I'm sure you're going to want to know, what is the weather going to be like this coming week? So we'll hit out with our Alex Forbes, our meteorologist, in studio. Alex, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Judea, we are going to be looking at cooler temperatures to start the week, much like we're seeing right now here in the metro area. 75 in Atlanta, 73 in Covington, 77 in Eatonton, 73 in Gainesville, and 74 over in Athens. Obviously, you see a smattering of showers out there on Fox 5 Live Viper. A closer look at those into parts of Forsyth County, over towards Hall and Gwinnett County, some pockets of heavier rain. Notice I have the lightning turned on. We saw a couple of lightning strikes a little earlier, but not really in the last 10 minutes have we seen any more. So this heavier rain going to continue really right along Interstate 985 right now, headed up towards Flowery Branch, also over towards the Mulberry area, getting over towards the eastern reaches of Gwinnett County, coming across the Barrow County line, not too far from Chateau Elan. And within the last little minute, we've seen a pretty good shower flare up right over downtown Lawrenceville. Some heavier rain also on the western shores of Lake Lanier there in Forsyth County. Okay. Finding our way over towards Madison County, Jackson County, Danielsville, pocket of heavier rain. But again, there's your lightning counter at 0, and the rain continues up into Hart County and Elbert County. Doesn't it just look fantastic outside? We've got the low cloud cover. It's just a dreary morning out there. This wedge pattern, this easterly breeze building in is really driving our forecast. That's what's bringing the cloud cover, the cooler temperatures, and the 60% chance of rain today and tomorrow. We will be slow to warm back up into the middle part of next week. So here's how it looks on the hour-by-hour forecast now. Looking for scattered showers later on this afternoon. Notice how this particular forecast run favors the western side of the state for the better chance of rain. So when I drew up today's rain chances, this is how it shaked out. 60% chance of rain here in this darker green area. So from Fannin County and Gilmer County, Dawsonville back down through, say, Peachtree Corners, Conyers, and into Jackson, and areas to the west. That's going to be your 60% chance of rain today, and then a 40% chance of rain from Blairsville over towards Banks County, Athens, Barrow County, and Eatonton here through the afternoon. We also technically have a low-end level 1 risk for some stronger storms today, but all in all, I really am not all that concerned about it. Here is your Fox 5 Storm Team 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, you're going to notice the breeze. It'll be around today, but you're going to really notice it tomorrow. Cloudy, dreary, breezy day with a high temperature not a typo, 74, 75 for Monday, 78 for Tuesday. So steadily warming back up next week, Judea, but it's going to take us a while to get back to 85. Mind you, our average high temperature for this time of year is 90.
Alex, maybe this is the minority vote, but I'm not mad about us being in the 70s.
I think the people who might argue with you on that are those who were looking for the sun at the pool today.
Oh, well, you guys, you had that the past couple of weeks. Move over. It's time for something else. Alex, thank you so much for another peek at our weather forecast. We'll get back out there with him a little later on. But speaking of things to do today, it may rain out here in Georgia, but a lot of people are headed down to Tennessee because they are making history tonight. The Atlanta Braves are set to take on the Cincinnati Reds, and it's pretty cool because they're actually combining two sports. If you have a look there, this is a live look out at Bristol Speedway down there in Tennessee. This is a racetrack. And they decided to add a baseball field for it. So tonight, the game will get underway. Again, the Cincinnati Reds are expected to face the Atlanta Braves on the diamond inside the Bristol Motor Speedway. Of course, a couple of our Braves are unfortunately facing injuries. And so, a couple of our players won't be out there on the field. But if you are planning to watch, you can still catch a glimpse of them. We will have our Kelly Price from our Fox Sports team out with a live look a little later on in our stream, but I just wanted to make sure you guys could see the Motor Speedway. It kind of looks a little eerie when it's all empty like that. But don't go anywhere because coming up, we're going to talk to you about some of the other things to do around the metro Atlanta area. So don't go too far.
You can listen to Fox 5 live on the Fox 5 Radio 1 network. Just tune your HD radio to 107.9 HD2 FM.
Well, hey guys, welcome back to the stream. My name is Judea Murray, and I want to get you a couple of the cool events happening around the Metro Atlanta area, as well as some of the things that are coming soon. So first of all, if you love country music, this one is for you. Country star Thomas Rhett is set to perform in Alpharetta. So the show, as I hear, starts at 7:30 p.m. It's going to be at Ameris Bank Amphitheater out there in Alpharetta. So if you're in North Georgia, it's a pretty easy drive. There will be outdoor seating, so we're going to be crossing our fingers and watching the forecast with Alex Forbes. Ticket prices do vary, but they do still have some available. I checked right before our stream began. Now, if you are interested in a little baseball, but you don't want to go all the way out there to Tennessee, the Gwinnett Stripers are taking on the Durham Bulls. This is part of a larger series that I believe began yesterday. So this week, the organizers released the guest list. This game, like I said, is part of a larger series that I believe began yesterday. They will be playing tonight. I'll get you some more information on this event a little later in the stream. But here's another exciting one. If you're a foodie like myself, Black Restaurant Week returns to Atlanta. And if you're unfamiliar with any of the restaurant weeks, essentially you can go to a number of different restaurants that have been predetermined by whatever organization is putting it together. In this one particular, some of those restaurants include Virgil's Gullah Kitchen and Bar, Spice House Midtown, T's Brunch Bar, Sugar High Sweets, Eats and Treats, and then we have got a lot more. But again, if you're unfamiliar with how Restaurant Week works, there will be discounts on certain dishes. There may even be drink specials. All you have to do is head to Atlanta Black Restaurant Week's website. It's blackrestaurantweeks.com/Atlanta-black-restaurant-week. I know that is a little long. I'll try to get that on your screen for you a little later. It'll make more sense. But it begins tomorrow, Sunday, and it will continue on, even though it's called a Restaurant Week, it'll continue on until August 17th. So you can get a taste of some of our Black-owned restaurants around the metro Atlanta area. Pretty cool. And if you are interested in dressing up, you like comic books, anime, Dragon Con is coming soon to our area. It brings in a ton of people every single time. This Dragon Con will take place, this is the beauty of live streaming. I'm trying to get you guys my notes, but unfortunately the internet is always great until it's not. So I'll try to get you some more information about Dragon Con coming up after the next couple of breaks. But until then, an event that I definitely want to get you all out to, the Peachtree Road Market is having a Peanut Day today, which is pretty cool in the state of Georgia. You know, we've got our former president, Jimmy Carter, and his love for peanuts. Anyway, we have our reporter, Caitlin Pratt, out there checking it out for us. Caitlin, it began around 8:30, right?
Yes, and it's going to be going today until noontime, and such a great vibe here. People of all ages here for just the food, the fun, the flowers, the atmosphere. Maybe you can hear some music in the background, but we're talking about all things peanuts today. So, of course, I have to bring you here to the Georgia Grown tent here, where you can see, obviously, the balloons. We're celebrating Peanut Day here. Maybe perhaps today you'd like a peanut butter cookie, as that's what's on the menu this morning. Yes. So tell us just about the peanuts in Georgia and just how important they are for the economy and our taste buds, obviously, too.
Yeah, so Georgia, of course, is the big economic driver in Georgia is agriculture. Georgia grows about 52 to 53% of the peanut crop in the United States every year. Most sustainable crop grown really in the United States, and just great for both the soil and the farm economy, but also great for us. Most protein of any nut, great nutrition, and delicious.
And it's something to be said, of course, you know, we all start off with the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's something so basic, so tasty, and so nutritious too. What's it like to be part of something that people, you know, from the time they're a child until grown up really enjoy?
Yeah, so I represent the farmers, and there's nothing more rewarding than working for people who are the stewards of the land. And they really are the original good stewards of our land, but also to grow a crop that does everything from feeding, you know, kids in school to when you're out working and you just need that peanut butter sandwich. And then chefs love them for the great umami value that peanut butter particularly has. You find it in almost every ethnic cuisine, as well as just the good old American PB&J.
What kind of questions are people asking you should they come by the tent?
So we've got everything from how peanuts grow to food allergy. I don't know if you know, but you introduce peanuts now at 4 to 6 months to prevent peanut allergy. And also we've got recipes, and Chef Dwayne Nutter is here from Southern National sampling some of his great peanut items.
Ooh, we'll be looking forward to talking with him. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Absolutely.
All right, so today I'm going to give you another look around here, and you can see the hustle, the bustle. Yes, it's a little bit drizzly, but what's so fun about this is a rain or shine situation. Yes, yes, we need a head to toe. Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness, so fun, so fun. It is drizzly. This is rain or shine though, and you can see so many people out getting their morning coffee, grabbing some flowers, gorgeous sunflowers, tasting those peanut butter cookies you see here. We're gonna come back to you later in the stream and hopefully catch up with Chef Nutter over there and talk about his latest cookbook and some of his favorite recipes. I'm gonna send it back to you in the studio though for now.
Caitlin, this is the fit check I didn't know I needed. First of all, some people are dedicated to the bit. I love it. I wish we had smell-o-vision, but there are people who are listening to us on the radio. Can you just describe the smells out there?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. You know, it is breakfast time, so there's a lot of different fresh bread smell, if that makes sense. And then of course, those fresh flowers. I'll take you over here. Maybe you can imagine yourself. We have so many different crepes over here, dessert crepes, some savory crepes, all being cooked up right now. Yes, maybe you can hear the sizzle too.
Caitlin, somehow you always get the best assignments. I don't know how you do it. Well, thank you so much for
good karma, lady. Good karma.
Yeah, you do good and good comes back to you. Thank you so much for our sneak peek at Peanut Day out at the farmers market. All right, we will get back out there with Caitlin a little later on in our stream. But until then, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the Braves playing tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway out there in Tennessee. So tonight, history will be made as the two sports collide for the very first time. It is going to be baseball as well as racing. That which we're looking at is a live look at Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee. And the Cincinnati Reds are the team that we are facing, the team that we're going to beat. They're playing on the diamond inside of the Bristol Motor Speedway. You know, they have been putting this together for quite some time. It's kind of crazy looking at the stadium out there empty, but we all know it's going to pack up pretty soon. And speaking of soon, we are going to have our Kelly Price from our sports team giving us a live look out there. She's been in Tennessee for the last couple of days. But before then, I want to get you a quick quote that we caught from one of the folks out there.
So it's kind of like tailgating for a football game or a race, which I haven't done very often. But instead of like a one-day tailgate, it's like a 3 or 4 day tailgate.
We're professionals trying to get away from the BS of life. And this is the best way to do it. Yeah.
One way to spend your weekend. And just so y'all know, the Reds are the only major league team that have not been swept in a series this season. So Braves are going to have to put in some overtime, but the Reds are eager to reach the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. So whether or not you are a Reds or a Braves fan, obviously there is a lot of fun to be had around the stadium. And we want to show you another cool event happening in our area. This one I mentioned my nephew is probably going bananas for in the living room. He's hopefully streaming us right now. We have our photojournalist Eli Jordan all the way out in Duluth at the Trains, Trucks, and Tractors event. Eli, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Hey, what's happening, Judea? You know, at 10 o'clock, they're starting the Trains, Trucks, and Tractors here at the Southeastern Railway Museum. We're in Duluth. It costs about $19 to get here, $13 for kids below 12 and under. And it's really cool. And right now, I am standing between a passenger car. This is really cool. I like trains. I've never been on like a train car like this before. And then we got a kitchen car. This is a military kitchen car. And I also have Ben Harrell He is a 10-year volunteer here at the Southeastern Railway Museum. Ben, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Doing all right. So tell me, what we got going on today, first of all.
Okay.
What can people expect? If, come out here, check it out. It's going on until 5 p.m. today.
Right. It's going to be trains, trucks, and tractors at the Southeastern Railway Museum. There'll be privately owned vintage rail cars, tractors, and trucks out here for the people to be able to see and take a look at and climb on. We'll also be giving rides on the park train that they've got here, as well as the big train, and we have speeders here as well, rail speeders, which we use for doing the inspection of the railroad.
And you have a speeder yourself, correct?
I sure do.
And we're going to check that out. If I have a chance to get on the railroad and speed down it, I'm going to do that. We're going to do that later. But right now, Ben, tell us, where are we right now?
We're in a military kitchen car that was used during the World War II, and they refinished it so it has the same setup as it did back then.
I like these wood floors on a train. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I guess this is old school wood, solid as it can be.
Yes, and a lot of the cars contained wood at the time because they didn't have the ability to produce metal during the war.
And so now we're moving into more of a civilian dining car, correct?
That's correct.
And so what car is this?
This is a Southern Railway dining car that was used. It was built around 1926 and used all the way up until 1950s.
Has a nice little Art Deco separator here. And how much would a train ride cost? Like, if I want to go from here to New York back in the day, any idea?
I have no idea what it would have cost back then.
It seems like it's a lot. Traveling like this seems a lot cooler than traveling by plane.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I would much rather sit here at a table, have dinner next to somebody I like, or dinner by myself than sitting in a cramped airplane seat and just looking out and seeing clouds or the ground 6 miles away. But here you can just travel across and see the actual, texture of the terrain. And,
yes, absolutely.
Get up and move around. And
yeah, the scenery is beautiful from a train because you're not dealing with the automobiles and the cars, trucks and everything else that are on the expressway. And you're traveling through the woods most of the time.
And so this is the civilian kitchen car, I guess.
That is correct.
And one thing, I was reading some information today about this. Bisquick, they make biscuits and stuff. You can get a little box of Bisquick, instant biscuits and all that. That was invented because of train travel. They didn't have time to stop for milk, eggs, and lard and all that. So they invented Bisquick to where all they had to do is just add water, and boom, they had their biscuits for their passengers. And so thanks to trains, we have Bisquick. But yeah, it's really cool, Judea. And today, I'm going to walk back down here to the dining car because that was really sweet. Today, we got the trains, tractors, and trucks, tractors, and trains. 3 T's. Anyways, down here at the Southeastern Railway Museum in Duluth, just off of Beaufort Highway. And it costs $19 to get in. It's going on until 5 p.m. today. Gates open up at 10 o'clock, so they're about to get things cranking. And you can come down here, tour these for yourself. These aren't the only cars. You guys have a lot of cars.
Yes, we have several steam engines that are out here, along with a lot of other passenger cars and all types of cargo.
And they got MARTA cars out here. And there's one steam engine here in Judea where the engine's wheels are as tall as I am. I mean, it's insane how big these railway, engines, railways, cars, and all that. I mean, they're kind of, it was the way we got around back in I didn't get around. You didn't get around in it, but before we had planes, this was the way to travel. It's a lot more efficient. I think it's a lot more romantic too, way to travel. If you like to travel, this would be the way to go. But come on down here to the Southeastern Railway Museum, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. today. There's trucks, tractors, and trains. $19 to get in. Going on until 5. Come check it out. Gates are just now opening up, and they'll be sharing their people's private collections of tractors and trucks. And Ben's got his speeder ride here that he's going to be giving rides, and we might take a ride on that pretty soon. Judea?
Eli, I love this so much. You said earlier it's a beautiful way for you to see the whole country because you really could go anywhere. Yeah. It's kind of cool. I was telling Ben, I was joking. Walking through these cars connected, I was like, I need a villain to chase me so I can just run from car to car like in the movies. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool out here. I immediately thought about the scenes where people get on top of the train and then they're running. I can't imagine you doing that.
Yeah,
we need you safe and on the grounds. All right.
I think I can.
That is not why they told us to say that in the books, Eli. Don't try this one at home. All right, we'll get back out to Eli a little later on for more looks at the Trains, Trucks, and Tractors event out at the museum. But until then, coming up soon, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about this major street closure in downtown Atlanta, how it'll affect you, and how you can get around.
You can listen to Fox 5 Live on the Fox 5 Radio 1 network. Just tune your HD radio to 107.9 HD2 FM.
Well, welcome back into our stream. I'm Judea Murray. I'm joined with Alex Forbes. And Alex, welcome to the digital set.
Yeah, long time no see. It's been like a whole hour.
Yeah. Did anything change?
Nope.
Well, we still got to go over for the people.
Just wash, rinse, repeat. Well, so here's the thing. Nothing changed from when we last spoke, but we've got a big time change in our forecast, right? So we're not looking at 90s and sunshine and scattered showers and storms like we've seen every day for really the better part of 2 weeks. We are now building in what's called this wedge pattern, which is when you get this wind out of the northeast this time of year, thanks to an area of high pressure that's situated not too far away from, say, the North Carolina, Virginia. In fact, actually, pretty close to Bristol in terms of the Braves game tonight.
Watch out there, then.
Yeah, we can call it there and blame them for this. So that is setting the stage for this afternoon, and that is going to be upper 70s and low 80s for many of us, believe it or not. We're already seeing some shower and storm activity out there on Fox 5 Live Vipers. So this is right now. First, let me take you down into the north side of the metro. We're not really looking at much in the way of lightning, but we are seeing some pockets of heavy rain now. First, starting off on the Fulton-Forsyth County line. This is going to be right over really the Windward neighborhood. There's Windward Parkway right there and Jonesbridge Road, headed up towards the Brookwood area. That's sliding up towards the north and Lambert High School here over the next little bit. There's some more scattered showers from the Polo Fields up to the north side of Cumming near that Cumming City Center development, and then out Brownsbridge Road near that's going to be Port Royale Marina out there on Lake Lanier, and then some heavier rain not too far away from the Falcons training facility in Flowery Branch. That's moving up towards the north, towards the Gainesville area. Then getting back down here into Gwinnett, right? So a pretty good pocket of some heavy rain right there on the Chattahoochee River. Also over towards Decula, not quite as intense over towards Mulberry right now. And as we slide our way down to the south, we are continuing to see more showers in and around the Watkinsville area. That's closing in on the south end of the Athens Loop. here in the next little bit, and then there's some more where that came from back up towards the north and to the east. A pocket of some heavier rain in between the Hartwell City Center and Lake Hartwell itself. So on that western end of the lake, that's moving towards the dam here in short order. Also over Madison County, just to the south of Danielsville. All right, so here's what we've got on the hour-by-hour forecast. Notice this does not start with the scattered showers that we are seeing right now. So I do expect those to continue, even though you don't see them on this map right here. And then we're going to see more of them through the afternoon. You see some pockets of heavy rain. I think generally speaking, that better chance of rain is going to be along and west of Interstate 75. And then notice we hang on to this activity through the overnight hours. We're not going to completely quiet down necessarily before we do much of the same tomorrow. Likely a little cooler tomorrow, with temperatures struggling to get into the 70s with a lot of cloud cover in and around the area. So for today, 81 in the city, 82 in Covington, a little warmer in Eatonton, 85, 79. We are not going to hit the 80s today in Blairsville and in Gainesville. And then tomorrow, we're not going to hit the 80s in Atlanta. 74, your high temperature there. 75 for Monday in Judea. To be completely honest with you, that's a little generous. There is a world where maybe we stay in the low 70s tomorrow. That's just factoring in a little bit of sunshine right there. So there's your Fox 5 Storm Team 7-day forecast. Wet today, wet tomorrow, cloudy tomorrow, windy tomorrow, just kind of And then Monday through Friday, slowly building in that heat once again, but it's not going to be a quick rise.
Ooh, okay, so tomorrow it looks like that's the movie day. You don't leave the house. And then we'll try again on Monday.
Yeah, exactly. It's when you open the door and then you close it. You're like, all right, we'll try again tomorrow.
Back to bed.
Yep, exactly.
Well, thank you for a quick look at our forecast. And hold on, while I do have you here, I want to ask you, because you did bring up Bristol.
Yeah.
And I know that you are a big baseball fan. What do you think about the odds tonight?
I am not very optimistic. I'll leave it at that. Let me say this. The Braves have done some things recently that don't give me a lot of hope for tonight.
Okay.
It's cool that it's in a NASCAR. I'm not really a NASCAR fan, right? So maybe I don't appreciate it as much as other NASCAR fans do. So it's cool that it's in the stadium and it's going to be one of the largest attended games and that the Braves are going to be able to be part of it. But, you know, if this game were last year when we had 100 wins, that might be a little more fun for me.
Okay, I feel you. I understand. Well, you're a big fan, so of course you have your expectations for the team.
I want them to win. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
We all want them to win.
But we got to manage our expectations at the same time.
We'll try to hold out hope. But thank you so much again. We do want to also get you some of your headlines for the day. We have our reporter, Alexa Liaco. She has been in Barrow County, where the students at Apalachee High School have gone back to school. And while it should be a bright, cheerful time, we understand that it's actually very somber. Alexa, can you tell us more about what you're seeing out there in Barrow County?
Yeah, good morning, Judea. Students and staff went back for their first day of school yesterday. Their first full week of school will begin Monday, and students and staff were greeted by several new security measures. There were metal detectors on every entrance. No door is left open now. Teachers now have cell phones and phones in their classroom to be able to better contact law enforcement or school management if there's some sort of emergency. The school also updated their schematics maps for law enforcement so that law enforcement can better respond if there's an emergency, like there was just about 1 year ago on September 4th, that shooting that took the lives of 4 people, 2 students and 2 teachers. And for the very first time, we were able to speak with the brother of one of those victims, 14-year-old Christian Angulo. His brother said the last year without their little brother has been incredibly painful, but they are pleased to see some of the safety measures that have been implemented. He said overall, though, more needs to be done.
The void that we feel like for my little brother is I don't wish it on anybody. Living in a nightmare, honestly. That's the only way I could explain it. It's like, no matter how many times you wake up, it's the same.
And he says his worry is only heightened by the fact that his other sibling, his sister, is a student at Appalachee. He said he wished that she didn't want to come back to school, but she expressed to their family that it was really important for her to graduate and honor her brother Christian by graduating from Apalachee High. So she's attending classes here today, and that's part of why the family is speaking out now and asking the Barrow County school system to make sure that the safety measures that have been implemented now are just the beginning of better safety measures to be continuously implemented into the schools. The family has hired a private attorney to investigate potentially filing a civil lawsuit against the school district, the sheriff's office. They are the second family to investigate doing this. The family of the other young student who was killed, 14-year-old Mason Schermerhorn, his mother is in the process of filing a $25 million lawsuit against this high school, against the school system, and the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. She alleges that there were many warning signs, red flags that were missed that could have kept those firearms out of the suspected shooter Colt Gray's hands, or prevented him from being able to transfer to the school in the first place. So definitely a lot of questions to be answered and a long legal road ahead for these two families of these two students who appear to be moving forward in their legal journey, possibly suing this school and the school district. But for the Angulo family, they say they really just hope that what happened here becomes an example and becomes a precautionary tale so that schools take these safety precautions that have been just implemented here and put them in place before a tragedy can strike. Judea?
Thank you so much again for giving us an update. You said it's going to be a long legal road ahead, a long legal road indeed. And I know there are going to be a lot of eyes on both families' cases if the Angulo family chooses to move forward. So we will get back out to you a little later on in our stream to see what else you have going for us. Now, switching gears, that's part of the headlines that are happening here in the Metro Atlanta area, but we also have some events happening around our area. We actually have our Eli Jordan, who has been out in Duluth at the Railway Museum, and we understand he's seeing the trucks, the tractors, and the trains. See, triple T, I got it too. It gets you tongue-tied. But he's been seeing all the cool vehicles, we'll say, out there in Duluth. Eli, what do you got for us this time around?
Hey, Judea. You know, this is really cool here at the Southeastern Railway Museum. Trains, trucks, tractors event going on today till 5 p.m., but $19 to get in, and it just opened up at 10. So come on down. There's people already starting to show up. But, you know, I didn't realize how cool this place is going to be. You know, when we're, sitting at the railroad track and stuff and train comes by, sitting in your car, you really don't get an idea of how large these things are. Now, given this is an old steam engine, but it's still a big, big engine. I want you to check out, this is where the engineer, I guess you would call it the engineer, would come in and deal with the coal and stuff. The coal would be back here. This is a little coal box right there, but this is the engine right here. This guy would be standing next to this. Sorry, it's out of focus, but there we go. This is all iron. This is an iron cast engine, and right here, I'm going to try and do this. It's pretty heavy. Boom! You shovel your coal right in there, and then you chew right along. But this thing, can you imagine how hot this was? And then also how much pressure was going on with the water and that burning coal going on. So, I mean, this was a very dangerous, hot, uncomfortable position to be in. But it's huge. I'm about, probably 7 or 8 feet up off the ground. But I want to show you these, wheels real quick, which is pretty cool. Because it blew my mind just walking through here, how big these engines are. Right, this is the same engine. You saw that, where you control it and everything. Check out these wheels. I mean, it's taller than me. It's insane. The wheels on this train are insane, Judea. But really, right now, I got Ben Harrell with me. He is a volunteer here at the Southeastern Railway Museum. Ben, how are you?
Doing good.
And so tell me, what is going on here today?
Trains, Trucks, and Tractors weekend. They're here to show all the different types of equipment that's being used. All of it's antique. It's stuff that people privately own now that they brought it here to display and show to the public.
And you have an item that
yes, sir.
You brought down, and you're giving rides, correct?
That is correct.
I think it's right over here, right?
That is it.
Let's go check it out. What is this thing called?
That's a railroad speeder.
That railroad speeder, and you're giving rides. Cool. And what does the speeder do? This is your personal one.
This is my personal one.
You customized it, right?
That's right.
You got some stereo system in there, so I'm joking.
Yeah. No, it's got a GPS in it, reverse camera. and it seats up to 8 people. And we use it for just touring on the railroad, but originally it was used for hauling gangs around to work on the railroad track.
And just to make sure that railroads were, the rails were straight and clear. And
Right.
Before, and they would have to do that every day, right?
They had to do it almost every single day to check and make sure that they didn't have trees or debris down on the track, which would block a train or derail a train when it came through.
And they don't have to do it quite.
They still do it, but they do it with a different piece of equipment now.
Gotcha. So this is really cool. How long has this museum been around?
This has been around since the 70s, and they moved to this location in the early 2000s.
Gotcha. So Judea, down here you can check out these really, I mean, this is such a beautiful engine. I want to take it home and have my own little train set, but I don't think I can carry this home with me because it probably weighs about 30 or 40 tons. I mean, it is huge, gigantic, and it's so impressive. And we got a caboose right here, and we got an old taxi cab right here. If you guys can come down here, we got other people. This isn't just museum pieces. People are coming down here with their own personal vintage tractors and trucks. And of course, they have the vintage trains already here. So if you come on down here, $19 to get in, $13 for 12 and under. It's going on until 5 p.m. today. It's really cool. I suggest getting down here because I'm having a blast. This is one of my favorite shoots because there's something about trains. I don't know what it is. Just, they've been around. They helped build this country. It reminds me, this one right here reminds me of Butch Cassidy, a Sundance Kid, where, I don't know if you've seen it, the money car. Butch Cassidy, a Sundance Kid, is about a couple bank robbers. They blow up the whole car because they use too much dynamite. And it's rather funny. But I'm a Paul Newman fan, so, I got to get that plug in there. But yeah, I've totally reminded me of Butch Cassidy, a Sundance Kid. But this one right here, Ben was telling me that this was an old timber car. And what makes it different is because it would pull all the lumber out of the woods. And it had, this is what you call the 4-wheel drive engine. All of its wheels would turn. The engine would turn all the wheels because it had to be able to pull all that lumber out of the woods. Isn't that right, Ben?
That is correct.
And what kind of drive did you call this?
This is a direct drive engine. It's, I think this one's a Heisler. I'm sure. We find out which one this was.
Direct drive engine. This is something you see coming out when they're like clearing land, getting timber in the early days of America, and helping build America and all that good stuff. It's crazy. They got a big heavy wood bumper.
This is a Heisler, and it was a direct drive. All the wheels turned on it. It wouldn't be fast, but it would be incredibly powerful.
Awesome. So yeah, you were talking about tons of horsepower and torque, I guess, is
right.
what it would be.
Because of the loads that it would be taking out of the woods.
Awesome. So today, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff. Hopefully your nephew is watching, and wishing he was down here because this is a really cool spot. And I haven't even touched on, half the stuff that they have here. It's really, really cool. I mean, they got a little gift shop here. You got the old train toys, vintage toys. And
yeah,
a bunch
Eli,
of,
I think you're going to need one of those. You said you wanted to take one of the trains home, but definitely way too big.
I want that big engine sitting in my front yard.
Absolutely not.
Really, just make my neighbors love me,
You're going to have to get a model train set.
Real quick. Warren G. Harding, President Warren G. Harding.
This one right here.
He rode on this. This was his car. And then Franklin Delano Roosevelt used to come down to Warm Springs, Georgia. Mm-hmm. This is his car.
There is so much rich
we got some presidential cars here
packed into that place.
I know, it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the rest of the things that you're able to show us, especially when you get to the trucks and the tractors.
And we're lucky enough that is the engine that used to pull this car.
Oh, that's the original engine?
That is the engine that used to pull this car.
Okay. Yep, this is the engine that used to pull this car. That's why it's big and massive, because, pulling the president, you better have some power behind you. And, I mean, this dwarfs everything. This engine is massive. It's really, really, really cool. So I guess American Locomotive Company.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So yeah, that's who made it, American Locomotive Company.
Eli, thank you again for another
Judea,
look
come
out
on down
there.
here, check it out.
Yeah, and I believe they are going until 5 p.m. today, right? 5 p.m.
Yep,
okay.
5 p.m. today.
All right, good. So we got that out there for you guys. We have another cool event that we have been covering. Our reporter, Caitlin Pratt, has been out at the Peachtree Road Farmers Market, and I hear they're getting a little nutty out there, Caitlin.
Hi, yes. Oh my gosh, it's been so fun. I'm meeting and greeting a lot of our Fox 5 viewers, telling about Fox Local and the stream, and they're all intrigued. And of course, anyone who's watching with us now streaming, we really appreciate you and love it. And want to show you what's going on here at the Peachtree Road Farmers Market. It's been in existence for 19 years. This is the 19th season here, and it's sponsored. It was started, I should say, by the cathedral here of St. Philip. It was a way to kind of bring the community back together. That was the whole idea of it. Bring it back to the old days, right? When people, if they got stuff, they didn't order it on Amazon. They'd have to go to the market, get out and about, greet the shopkeepers, greet their neighbors, things of that nature. Well, today is a special day here at the market, celebrating one of Georgia's finest crops. We're talking about the peanut, of course. And I want to introduce you to a chef here who really incorporates those flavors into his recipes. He has a cookbook here. His chef Dwayne Nutter. He's from Southern National Atlanta. He's talking with one of his customers right now. And as he does, I'm going to clip on this microphone. Hey, Chef, good morning to you. There we go.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing great. Tell me, sir, about what it is about peanuts that really makes a mark in your recipes.
Well, when my mom got married and I got adopted by Mr. Paul Nutter, I've been running with peanuts the whole time. So I always have a peanut something on my menu. Just doing a correlation between my last name. I like to have fun no matter where I go.
Listen, when I heard your last name was Nutter, I said, is it going to get any better than this? I don't think so today.
No. I got my little peanut hat, you know, I got my little chef hat on. Randall must came out.
We have people here to adore him.
Oh, we love to
I'm doing good. Slinging my peanuts and telling my life story.
Love it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's about your life story. Tell
Oh
us
yeah,
about
my
your-
book just came out, Cutting Up in the Kitchen, and it chronicles all my first. Even when I worked at the Occidental Grand, which is now the Four Seasons Hotel, my whole life in Georgia, and I was raised in Seattle, born in Louisiana, and that's how my little cuisine come together. So if you're confused, that's why.
How would you describe your cuisine?
I think it's a true definition of personality cuisine.
Yeah.
Because I pretty much encompass my entire life, and everything I like and everything I do is all in my recipes. So
You have a great sense of humor. I know that just by talking to you briefly. How does that help you in your business and in life?
well, it's better than having a smoke break if you can have a laugh break.
What are you guys serving up here this morning?
This morning I have my peanut butter burritos.
What?
I have a little hoisin sauce in there, some chili powder, and some bacon, and it's got the mozzarella cheese. So it's a little bit strange, but extremely delicious.
Intriguing. Okay.
It's got a little crunch. Got some crushed peanuts in there.
Fabulous. If I say you guys are open here till noon, if anyone wants to come down, they can get a cookbook here too.
Oh
right?
yeah, I'm signing cookbooks.
You ready? Okay.
I'm signing hats. So we got burritos with the potatoes and the hash. I got one for you.
Look at this.
And I got a little pound cake down there if you're interested. A little peaches and cream.
Excuse me, sir.
So I'm just slinging all the peanuts and all the peaches.
All the things. Thank you, Chef. I'm going to take this back. I really appreciate you. Oh, man. Judea, so just one of the vendors here. So fun. Really enjoyed getting out and meeting and greeting all different people in our community here today. Usually I'm told it's even more packed than this. I think the drizzly weather may have something to do with the maybe dwindling of crowds, but don't let that stop you. Grab your umbrella, grab your hooded jacket, come out here. It is open until noon right behind St. Philip's Cathedral here on Peachtree Road. Such a special place and a whole lot of options to get your fresh fruit, veggies, flowers, eggs, all the things, maybe a little sweet treat for yourself as you start this weekend, Judea.
Caitlin, I have had such a fun time watching you walk through, and especially your interview with Chef Nutter. I just knew, first of all, that that man's last name was not Nutter. I thought it was just like, what do they call, like a pseudonym? Who'd have
Oh
thought?
yeah. Oh yeah. He's legit. He's legit.
Thank you so much for another peek at the Peanut Day out there at the Peachtree Road Farmers Market. It looks a lot of fun out there. I might have to stop down there a little later. But you guys out there watching with us, another thing that we have been dealing with in the Metro Atlanta area, but really just people all around the country, is unfortunately job loss. And so I sat down and spoke to an expert to discuss, what are you supposed to do? What are the right things to do and the wrong things to do when you find out that you have lost your job? It can be in a very emotional time. So when we come back, we are going to listen in on some of the tips and the tricks that they gave me. Hey guys, welcome back into Fox Local. My name is Judea Murray. We're joined with a special guest this time around. I know a lot of you guys may be logging into social media, maybe even LinkedIn, and it kind of feels like a giant cemetery of jobs. Fortunately, a lot of people are going through job loss, whether it's because they have been fired or maybe they've just been laid off with some of the cuts that are going around. And we want to make sure that you understand that losing your job doesn't mean you have to lose your confidence. And so we are joined with a best-selling author and a leadership expert to talk to us a little bit more about how to maintain that confidence. Dr. Margie Worrell, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm delighted to be with you.
So let me start with a quote. I'm going to read it to make sure I don't get it wrong. Rejection isn't a referendum on your value. It's a mismatch, not a verdict. You said that. And I feel like we just saged this entire stream. But why is it so important and so powerful to make that kind of distinction when you're in the middle of job loss?
Because it is so easy to over-personalize it and conflate our employment status and our loss of a job or rejection, if we're applying for a job, with our own self-worth. And it's just crucial for us to distinguish the two. Our worth is not defined by our job status. And yet, when you are in the midst of a period where you've been laid off or you find yourself continually not landing a job and you're in the job market, it's really easy to feel like, this is a referendum on your worth. And so that is just the number one thing that you have to keep in mind so that you don't let it define you.
Let's face it, for a lot of us, our jobs are a huge part of our identity. We're at work most of the time during the day. And so what's one of the biggest mistakes you think people make emotionally within the first 24 hours of hearing that they've lost their job?
Well, I think firstly, we need to give ourselves 24 hours to feel whatever we're feeling. Give yourself some time to just process that. Maybe you're feeling hurt. Maybe you're feeling rejected. Maybe you're feeling angry. There may be, maybe you've got a sense of, this is unjust. It shouldn't have happened to me, etc. Maybe you're feeling humiliated. So our emotions aren't always rational, but they are real. And we don't want to linger in negative emotions that deflate us and keep us stuck and feeling small. But we do need to give them space to just do their thing. So feel whatever you're feeling. Give yourself 24 hours to just feel deflated, have a cry. That's what I might do. Feel what you're feeling, but then put a time cap on it. Because this isn't about toxic positivity and being all positive and pretending it's all good. No, it is about saying, I'm going to give myself space to be real, to be human. You're not a robot, but I'm not going to stay in that space. Now I'm going to move into learning mode. Now I'm going to move into, okay, now what? How do I find the gift in this situation? Maybe even utilize it to reset my sails, to refine what I'm doing, or to think about how can I put myself out there back in the market in a way that represents the value that I have to bring more accurately.
I loved the fact that you said, you are not a robot. You're allowed to feel. Just keep it to that 24 hours. Another thing that you have recommended is asking for feedback after you find out you've lost your job. And that's asking for people to kind of dust off that bruised ego. But it is important. That's not intimidating. Why should we do that? And how should we approach that kind of conversation?
Yes, you may have a bruised ego, and that's understandable, as I said, but don't miss this opportunity to get anything you can to better yourself. You might not even agree with the feedback, and you might not even get the feedback, but ask for feedback in such a way that makes it easier for people to give it. Often people don't want to give feedback. They feel awkward. It's hard. I don't want to hurt your feelings more. I just rather not have to talk about it. So ask it in a way that is very forward and developmentally focused. What's one thing I could do more of? Or what's one thing that you think that I could do less of? It actually makes it easier for them to just zoom in and narrow in on something specific that you could focus on.
Beautiful point. The other thing I wanted to say too is, you never know, even though that door has closed, how that person who maybe gave you the answer could help you open up the next one, because you will still need a referral one day. Maybe the next job will call your old job to see what kind of person you were. And so you do want to leave on those good terms. I think that is a great way to walk out the door. All right, now, you guys, I could only talk to Dr. Worrell for a brief period of time, but she has so much more information that she can get out to you. You can, look at more of her work into tapping into your courage by going to margieworrell.com. And then remember that losing a job might feel like an ending, but it could be the beginning to something even better. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Hey guys, welcome back into the stream. I am Judea Murray. You have me for the next 30 minutes or so, but we will keep our stream going, so don't go anywhere. Up first, I want to bring you out to Barrow County, where some of the students are getting back to school. And while it should be a fun, exciting time, unfortunately for these students, it is still a somber one, especially after last year's mass shooting. We have our reporter, Alexa Liacco, out there at the school right now. Alexa, how has it been for these guys getting back into the school year?
Well, the somber mood for students and staff certainly echoed here by the pouring rain and gray skies today. School not in session today. Students went back Friday for their first day of school. They'll go back to their first full week of school on Monday. There's definitely a mood of sadness in the air, but also relief, because there are a lot of new safety measures that have been implemented at the school, including new metal detectors, new updated school schematics maps that law enforcement will have access to, new phones in all of the classrooms so teachers or students can more easily call 911 or school authorities to get people to classrooms quicker in the event of an emergency. We, for the first time, spoke with the brother of Christian Angulo, one of the 14-year-old students who was killed September 4th, 2024. He said he wanted to speak out now because he feels the safety measures that were implemented inside Apalachee High School are a good start, but are by no means all that needs to be done. He said it's been an incredibly painful year without his brother, and that his sister is coming back to class this year and trying to graduate here from Apalachee High to honor their little brother, Christian. He says he is potentially looking into filing a civil lawsuit against the school district, as well as the sheriff's office. We spoke with the family's attorney about what needs to be done here to keep students safe. Take a listen.
It's not the time to stop talking about it. We don't have the luxury of pretending like these things don't happen in our area, in our community.
Now, the other family of the other young student who was shot and killed, Mason Schermerhorn, his mother is in the process of filing a civil lawsuit against the school district, as well as the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. She has filed a formal complaint saying that she intends to file a $25 million suit, saying that critical warning signs and red flags were missed not only by the sheriff's office, but the school district, that could have potentially prevented the violence from happening that took her young son's life almost 1 year ago. So a long legal road ahead for those families. But the Angulo family says they really hope that the safety measures that are implemented here in Apalachee High School serve as an example of measures to take before tragedy happens in a school to keep students safe and make sure to prevent things from happening. Judea?
Thank you so much for another look at what's going on out there in Barrow County. I know the families are appreciative of the coverage and just being able to stay up to date on everything that is happening. So again, Alexa, thank you for your time. We want to bring you back out to the studio to get you a closer look at your forecast. Alex Forbes, our meteorologist, is here in studio. Alex, what's going on out there in the skies?
Yeah, we're looking at some scattered showers right now in and around really the northeast metro, and that's translating up into northeast Georgia at this hour. 76 is where we stand in Atlanta right now, 72 in Gainesville, 75 over in Athens. Let me take you over to Fox 5 Live Viper, and we'll take a closer look at some of these showers. So scanning around from Peachtree City, this is the radar here, from Lake Lanier down to the Fulton-Forsyth County line on over into the Suwannee area of Gwinnett County, a pretty good pocket of some rain. Notice no lightning with this. The pocket of heavier rain moving into Jefferson here in the next few minutes, and all of this moving, generally speaking, over towards the Athens area, where we're looking at a shower right now, but as I alluded to, there's more where that came from. Also, a decent pocket of some rain right now in parts of Madison County from Comer down into Enterprise. That's going to be in Oglethorpe County, lifting into towards Elbert County here in the next few minutes. Down on the south side, we've also been tracking a shower across parts of southern Putnam County. That's making its way towards Lake Sinclair here before too long. 81 this afternoon, 74 for tomorrow. That is not a typo. We are going to be what we call wedged in northeast Georgia and really into the metro Atlanta area with cooler temperatures, cloud cover, and scattered showers. A 60% chance of rain both days here in the metro area. So that's what we've got on the docket. Here's how it shapes up on that hour-by-hour forecast. Notice we are expecting to see some more activity by the time we get towards the early early afternoon hours, and that's going to continue through the late afternoon and evening. Notice the activity does not necessarily go to bed later on this evening. We are looking at pockets of heavy rain still at that 11 o'clock hour, and then potentially another wave lifting up from the south from the Macon area for tomorrow morning. There's that cloud cover for tomorrow afternoon. I really think we're going to be hard pressed to see much in the way of sunshine for tomorrow. Now for today, we do have a low end risk for some severe weather down to the south with that wedge in place here in northeast Georgia. That's going to really put the kibosh on any threat of some stronger storms up in our neck of the woods. But if you're in Troup County, Meriwether County, perhaps down towards Upson County, a storm with winds of 60 miles an hour, not necessarily out of the picture for the afternoon. So here's that hour by hour forecast in the mid 70s now. Only getting into the low 80s today, and then we're going to call it a day with a 40 to 60% chance of showers and storms. Tomorrow, you're going to notice that breeze picking up, a high temperature, again, not a typo, only 74 in Atlanta. Our average high is 90, 75 there for Monday. Steadily warming back up here through the end of the week, back to 85 by Friday. Judea?
Thank you for a look at our forecast, Alex. I do want to take this moment. We can come back into studio. We've been looking at the comment section for those of you who are joining us, watching and streaming from YouTube. And I heard we have a viewer joining us from Japan, which is pretty exciting. Let me make sure I've got his name right. Rafa Anderson, thank you for streaming with us. Hopefully you are still sticking around with us. And for those of you guys who are streaming, remember that you can hit us up in the comment section. We do read those. If you have any questions, maybe during Alex's weather forecast, you want to focus in on a specific place. These are the kinds of things that you can do when you are streaming Fox News. So thank you again for joining us here on Fox Local, whether it's YouTube, listening to us on the radio, maybe watching us on your TV, your smart TV. We appreciate having you all in our audience. All right, so let's get you out to the Peachtree Road Farmers Market. Listen, our Caitlin Pratt is out there
like
having a time. She's been seeing some interesting characters and introducing us to some pretty cool food. Caitlin, just making sure that you can hear me.
We love that.
Caitlin, how's it going out there at the farmers market?
Oh, there you are. Hi. I was just talking to my new friend, the ice cream cone here.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so we went from a peanut to now an ice cream cone.
My goodness. So fun. So fun. And I made a new friend this morning, Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Good morning.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Let's talk about this event and just how it's grown over the years, right?
Yeah, so this is our 19th season. We're the Peachtree Road Farmers Market here at the Cathedral of St. Philip in Buckhead. And we started 19 years ago right here in the parking lot. And we've grown over the years. We currently average about 75 vendors or so every Saturday. Local farmers, producers, artists, everyone here grows or makes their own items. All our farmers are certified naturally grown or organic. And today is Peanut Day. So you see behind us here at the Georgia Growing Tents, we've got Chef Nutter from Southern National signing cookbooks and serving up a delicious breakfast burrito. Georgia Peanuts are behind him. And so every Saturday, it's a fun community event. We always have live music, children's area. Twice a month, we have story time by the Alliance Theater right near the music tent. We've got, Blessing in the Backpacks coming up in a couple weeks. And really, it's an opportunity to bring folks together in the neighborhood. A lot of people meet friends here.
We were talking about earlier, this takes it back to the old days, right? I mean,
it does.
No Amazon, no.
Exactly. The cathedral, Dean Candler from the cathedral and the vicar talk about how back then they wanted like the medieval times, like the marketplace where people came, brought their stuff, and everybody gathered and met their neighbor and got to know each other and foster those relationships. So that's essentially what the vision for how this started and how we live it out every day. We try to bring grace, excellence, and hospitality out to the parking lot and all that we do here. So,
Nancy, tell us about this ice cream social. That sounds intriguing.
So it's one of the market fundraisers on August 9th, next Saturday. Customers can choose from 2 tasting sessions at 11 or at 12:30. And a ticket buys you a pass to try flavors of at least a dozen different chefs. Will be providing ice cream samples. We've got, Chef Nutter from Southern National. We've got folks from Rumi, Kamayan. There'll be all sorts of different interesting flavors people can try. There'll be a couple of bounce houses and kids area, and the bounce houses are sponsored by the Fun Village. And the money raised from this event helps us fund our rescued crops for our neighbor program. And that program started in 2022. At the end of every market, I buy fresh fruits and vegetables from the local farmers to, it's additional income for our farmers. It keeps the produce out of the compost bin. Produce is donated to the local food pantry. Last year, we spent about $34,000 and donated 18,000 pounds to the local food pantry.
Wow,
and so we are grateful to continue doing that. We also have an auction. That happens in October and November where we have over 300 items, and that fundraiser also helps us fund that program as well.
Nancy, just some closing thoughts. What I love about it, and I've noticed, is that people of all ages are here enjoying the atmosphere.
And that's the goal. When I started in 2020, I wanted our vendors to represent the world that we live in. So not just all white population. We were able to offer our farmers, our Black farmers, a scholarship because it's a lot to get started in this world. And we've got young folks, we've got a lot of children and families. We got folks that are local to Buckhead and then from all over. Especially when we do certain events like the skin cancer screening. We've got folks, I remember people coming down from Woodstock.
Wow.
It's really a fun place to come and hang out and bring your family on a Saturday morning.
And Judea, you can bring your dog too. I don't even know if you have a pet, but if you do, grab your neighbors. You can come out. I've been watching all these dogs around here. You know I'm a dog lover, so I'm obsessed. So that's all. People watching, dog watching, it's all here. And if you missed out this week, don't forget your next opportunity, August 9th. Nancy, thanks so much for your hospitality and for giving us a view.
Yeah, and we're here every Saturday, March through December. In the last 4 Saturdays of the year, we'll have Santa Claus and a whole nother row of artists. So come see us.
Yes, absolutely. All right, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio with our dancing ice cream cone.
I'll dance with her.
Judea.
Thank you so much, Caleb. Like I said, she's out there seeing all the characters.
Perfect for that.
Earlier today, we saw, a peanut, and then we saw the ice cream cone, and apparently if you go down in a couple of months, you might see Santa Claus. You never know what you're going to see out there at the Peachtree Road Farmers Market. And just to reiterate what Nancy was saying, next week they have their ice cream social, so that's going to be August 9th. It is all the ice cream that you can eat, any of their flavors, as long as you register and get a ticket. So for adults, I believe it is a $25 fee. For kids, it is $10, but if your child is under the age of 4, and if you bring your furry friend, come in free. All right, so let's get you some of the major headlines around the country, not just here in Georgia, starting with our President Donald Trump, who has fired the labor official over what he calls a rigged job report. So on Friday, President Donald Trump said that he wanted the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics out after a government report showed that hiring apparently had slowed down over the last 3 months in our country. He attacked the head on Truth Social and claimed that the country's jobs reports were, and I quote, being produced by Biden appointee. So he ordered his administration to terminate her and her role. He said that we need more jobs, accurate jobs numbers. And so we'll see, who she will be replaced with and what data comes out after that. But that is a big one that is buzzing around. Another big headline, the corporate for public broadcasting is set to shut down. So what does that mean in case you're unaware? The local members stations of PBS, the station that probably puts out a lot of the programming that your kids may watch if you still have cable. A lot of the educational content in our country, as well as NPR, they typically depend on federal support in order for them to operate on their day-to-day basis. Well, that funding, that government funding that federal funding has been canceled. And so the Corporation for Public Broadcasting has told its employees that a lot of their positions will be eliminated started September 30th. And then that there will be a transition for a small number of team members to stay on, and that'll carry out through January 2026. That's another one that a lot of people are looking at, and we're trying to get the latest on it. Now, here back home on our home front of the Peach State, turns out the food stamps group department, the system has been attacked by hackers. So this cyber attack took place allegedly on July 28th, and it targeted Georgia's EBT call center system. And so what that did, it disrupted services, apparently attempted to access some user accounts. Now, we get calls in the Fox 5 Atlanta office all the time about people saying that they think their food stamps are being compromised. We've had people say that they go to the store at the first of the month and their food stamps have already been spent up. And so I'm sure that this is not something pleasing to them, but also something very alarming, that their information may have been compromised. So once again, that attack allegedly took place on July 28th. It seems that bots targeted the interactive voice response system, that is their call center. And that system allows EBT recipients to check their card status, review their balances, and access other important account information. According to the DHS, that attack caused a service disruption and attempted, again, to improperly access user accounts. And so you're probably wondering what was the response from DHS and the conduit. We do have that full statement on fox5atlanta.com, as well as the Fox Local app. You can look for this article. I'll just read you a small portion of it. They said that there is a new security feature for cardholders to easily lock and unlock their EBT cards between purchases. All you have to do is use the new Connect EBT app. This feature allows customers to choose where their cards are locked everywhere, including Georgia. So again, we have that full statement on our website if you would like to read the rest of what they've said. That is just a very small portion of a much longer statement. Back to local. When we come back, we are going to get one last look in the 10 a.m. hour from our photojournalist, Eli Jordan, at the Trains, Trucks, and Tractors event out there at the Railway Museum. We'll be right back.
You can listen to Fox 5 Live on the Fox 5 Radio 1 network. Just tune your HD radio to 107.9 HD2 FM.
Welcome back in to our stream. Thank you for joining us on the Fox Local app. Maybe you're listening to us on the radio, or maybe you're watching with us on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us for your headlines and for some of the cool things happening around the metro Atlanta area. One of those awesome things is out in Duluth. We have our photojournalist, Eli Jordan, who has been spending some time with the trucks, the trains, and the tractors at the Railway Museum. Eli, where are you at right now?
Hey, yeah, I am out here at the Southeastern Railway Museum, and I am on a speed ride, correct?
Speeder car.
Speeder car. I am with volunteer Ben Harold, and this is his speeder car right here. We're taking a little ride. This is what we do here at the museum. If you come out here today and check it out here, it's starting to rain a little bit, but most of it is undercovered. But this is going on trains, trucks, tractors until 5 p.m. today. It's happening now. And yeah, if you look outside, it might be raining a little bit, but you know what? Most of it's undercover. And let me kind of show you what all's going on, you know, what the place looks like out here a little bit. And, you know, they got a lot of little passenger cars here, and we are on the speed ride. And Ben, tell us what the speed ride is for.
Speeder car was used for doing maintenance and inspections on the railway before they put a train out on the track.
And so tell me, did you guys give the rides out here today?
Yeah, we'll be giving rides to the public out here on the track inside the confines of the museum itself.
And just tell me, do you have a train whistle on here too?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a train whistle on here?
Oh, yeah.
This is kind of fun today. All right, so yeah, come on out here. See, I'm riding on the train tracks now. You can come out here and ride on the train tracks too. If you come out to the Southeastern Railway Museum, you can check out people are bringing their own personal vintage tractors and trucks out here as well, and you can climb up all over them. And we'll be checking out more and more of these really cool trains and engines. Yeah, get out of our way, people. But yeah, it's really cool out here, Judea. I suggest come out here and check it out. The rain is not an issue because most of the exhibits are under shelter. So don't worry about it. Enjoy it. And we got cabooses. We got cargo cars. We got coal cars. Here's another engine right here. We got all sorts of cool stuff. So I say, come on out here. Get yourself a ride on a speed car with Ben or one of his assistants and check out trains, trucks, and tractors at the Southeastern Railway Museum until 5 o'clock today. And this is perfect day to come out here for it because you're not going to be doing anything else outside. It's raining, and all these exhibits here, they're under shelter, so you're going to be good here. Judea?
Hey, you never know what we're gonna get. We never know what we're gonna get with you. The fact that you are in a moving train car right now is epic. Thank you so much for another quick look. Listen, you guys, continue streaming with us because later on in our show, Eli is going to be joined with my colleague Elizabeth Rollins. She'll be hosting up until about 12:30 p.m. So we're gonna get you a quick break. When we come back, like I said, we have a lot more headlines, a lot more amazing, cool things to do out there in the Metro Atlanta area, but you'll be joined by my colleague, Elizabeth Rollins. We'll see you soon.
1. Good morning. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins taking a live look at Bristol. Can you believe it? The Braves are playing this afternoon in the most unique way. We want to check in with Alex Forbes with a look at your forecast at how it's going to be there, how it's going to be here. Alex, good morning.
Yeah, Elizabeth, I think it's a good thing that they are not in town today because we'd be running into some problems over at Truist Park if that were the case. Instead, they're a couple hundred miles north. Is it a couple hundred? I guess it's about 200. And at any rate, looking at a little different of a forecast up there, I'll show you here in just a second. First, in Atlanta right now, 11:04 in the morning, 76. We got down to 75 earlier this morning. That's where we are in Athens right now, 73 in Gainesville. Notice we do have some shower activity, not so much thunderstorm, just some pockets of heavier rain embedded within some lighter showers, extending now from Elbert County across Athens, Barrow County, Gwinnett County, and in towards the Lake Lanier area and Dawson County. Those are drifting off towards the east, but I'm expecting to see a lot more where that came from through the day today. Our rain chance at 60% with scattered storms. Our high temperature today of only 81, and then for tomorrow, 74, your high temperature there with an overnight low of 66 through the overnight hours. That is going to be about 10 degrees cooler. Yes, you heard me correctly, about 10 degrees cooler than what we saw this morning. So here we go into some cooler weather. All right, this afternoon, we are expecting to fire up some more activity. Notice we've got a lot of cloud cover across the area. And there we go towards the 6 o'clock hour. I think generally speaking, the better chance of rain today is going to be on the other side of 75. And then down to the south, watching for maybe one or two of those storms to be on the stronger side. I'll show you some more on that here in just a minute. First, I want to highlight that through the overnight hours here, we don't necessarily lose all of our radar activity. There will still be rain falling 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning in several locations, and that will be amplified again tomorrow with that easterly breeze. How about those temperatures? We barely made it into the 70s. Yeah, that 74 tomorrow was kind of generous in hindsight. Level 1 in place for the afternoon. This is what I was talking about in terms of that strong storm threat. That's going to be mainly down to the south, LaGrange, Greenville, Manchester, over towards Pike and Lamar counties. With this wedge in place here in northeastern Georgia, we just simply don't have the environment for strong storms, nor do we want the environment for strong storms. So they can keep that down there. Temperatures getting into the low 80s this afternoon. If we're lucky, 40 to 60% chance of rain. And as I alluded to, that better chance of rain is going to be basically Atlanta and west, right? So if you were to draw a line from Blue Ridge down through Dawsonville, over towards Conyers and in towards Forsyth, and then to the west, 60% and then 40% elsewhere. So again, not dry necessarily in eastern Georgia. It's just a slightly lower chance of rain here through the afternoon. Here's your Fox 5 Storm Team 7-day forecast. Not typo, not a typo, not a typo. 70s for highs Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Up to 80 by the time we get to Wednesday and up to 85 by the time we get to Friday. So so Elizabeth, I joked with Caitlin earlier that don't get used to the cooler stuff. But if you do, don't blame me, because I warned you. 85. That's all on the docket.
Finally bringing some good news. All right, thanks so much, Alex Forbes. All right, let's get you caught up on some of your headlines. Right now, the NTSB continues to investigate that crash that happened in D.C. The altitude reader may have been off of the helicopter. They reported that it was flying above 200 feet when that crash happened. They also report that the air traffic controllers were facing a lot of pressure to accommodate a high volume of traffic. The FAA also raised concerns about the close proximity that the Army was conducting trainings near commercial traffic. Again, that 3-day hearing wrapping up within the last 24 hours. And meanwhile, the alleged school shooter's father of the Apalachee High School shooting from 2024 was in court on Friday. Colin Gray's defense team believes that the search of his home right after the shooting at Apalachee School was improper, but prosecutors disagree. 4 people, 2 students, 2 teachers were killed during that mass shooting in 2024. Colin Gray was charged because prosecutors say he gave Colt Gray a gun despite knowing he was a threat. And added security is happening right now for Barrow County schools. Friday, students and staff saw new weapon detection systems at the door and more school resource officers. The school also had high-quality school maps for law enforcement and new classroom phones for improved communication. All right, we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we are going to check in with Caitlin Pratt, who is at the Peanut Festival. We'll be right back. back. Thanks for streaming with us this Saturday morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. I know Caitlin Pratt is. She's down eating peanuts on Peachtree Road. Caitlin, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. Yes, it's been such an amazing time here at the Peachtree Road Farmers Market this morning. Getting a look at all the things, all the different vendors. If you've been streaming with us this morning, you've seen introduce you to a chef who incorporates peanuts, and it's Peanuts Day here into all of his recipes. Also caught up with farmers here who are really passionate about peanuts and how they help Georgia's agriculture and economy. I want to introduce you now to someone who is a longtime vendor here, a longtime farmer, grew up doing this. His name is Musa, and he's been entertaining me now for the last couple minutes. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How you feeling?
Doing great. So tell me about your farm, Bread and Butter Farm.
So Bread and Butter Farms is basically a family farm. You can check us out on Instagram, Bread and Butter Farm to Table with a period between each one. But I'm a fourth generation farmer. We love being out in the sun, love growing stuff, love providing stuff, trying to have food sovereignty, of course. That's the whole idea behind the space. So yeah, that's what it is.
Now, I'm looking at all of this. I mean, looks so fresh, so good. What's the best part about having these clients come, pick up a bag, and know that they'll be in their kitchens enjoying it later on?
I think that is the enjoyment in and of itself, right? You get to grow, harvest, do all that kind of good stuff like that, and then you get to see the fruit of your labor, basically. So I absolutely love it. I mean, we was given a scholarship to be a part of this market by Nancy and Peachtree Road board. And ever since, it's been a door of economic opportunity, you know what I'm saying, that's been open for us as farmers. And that's really what farmers are looking for, just a place to unload what they have. And so that's what it is here. Like, it's just a really good space to kind of give people really good food.
I heard you earlier, and I'm going to go give a tour. You were giving someone advice on, and I'm going to go over and show it.
Okay.
It's that
mushroom.
Yes. Talk to me about that while I show our streamers.
Mushrooms have a lot of minerals that are extremely beneficial for the mind, the body, things of that nature. A lot of people look at vitamin deficiency, but really the focus should be for a lot of this stuff, mineral deficiencies, because it really helps when it comes to benefiting the body, absorption, things of that nature when it comes to minerals. So yeah.
And ways you can prepare it.
It looks like a brain.
It
and
really
so
does.
That's what it benefits. It benefits the brain more than anything. But this is a lion's mane mushroom. You cook it in any type of way that you want. Saute it, put it in ramen. I like it with sesame oil, a little bit of olive oil, and some eggs. Any of those things like that, I'm happy.
Fabulous.
I'm good to go, yeah.
Thanks for talking with us, Musa.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your success.
You're
Look
very
at all
welcome.
these people waiting to scoop up what you guys have grown. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And Elizabeth, I just want to give you a look at some other things here. Of course, today is Peanut Day, as you mentioned. There's the Georgia Grown tent over here. They're passing out little packets of Georgia peanuts over here. They're also highlighting one of our local chefs who incorporates peanuts into all of his recipes right here. And I think you're going to love his name. His name is Chef Nutter, and that is not made up. Chef Nutter. So he's going to be here. I know. For the next hour. He has his new cookbook. He'll be signing it for you, and you can also talk with him. He has the best sense of humor ever, and makes a mean burrito as well.
Caitlin.
A mean burrito.
Caitlin, if you want to go back to those peanuts, the Georgia grown peanuts, fun fact, and I don't know if they still do this.
Yes.
But they used to donate peanuts to all of the congressional offices, all of the government offices, that they could have them on hand for snacks for anybody that wanted them. So
What?
I don't know if they still do that. They never came to the newsrooms, but but
Oh
it's
yeah,
really,
you know us in the newsroom. We would never pass up free food, especially something as good as peanuts,
yeah.
for
So
sure.
those definitely look very familiar. Those are some great peanuts. Awesome. Oh, Caitlin Pratt, thanks so much. Appreciate it. We'll check back in just a bit. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to check in with Eli Jordan, who always gets a really cool assignment. Trains, tractors, and trucks. Yeah, that's what I said. Trains, tractors, and trucks. We'll have that on the other side of this break. Welcome back. Thanks for streaming with us. Time right now is 11:19. Glad you're spending your morning with us. We want to go to our Eli Jordan. He always gets the best assignments. Today, he is following trucks, tractors, and trains. Eli, good morning.
Actually, see how it looks this way.
Eli, good morning. Can you hear me?
The sun is bright, coming straight directly on me. You know, you can stay right where you are. Now, it'll work out there.
Eli, you're live. All right. We're having trouble hearing Eli, or he's having trouble hearing us. Okay, we are going to take a quick break, try to get him back online, and be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's try this again. We have Eli Jordan standing by with trucks, tractors, and trains. Eli.
Hey, Elizabeth, I apologize about that. My phone accidentally hung up on me and I didn't know it. So anyways, I am here at the Southeastern Railway Museum, and they're having trains, trucks, tractors out here until 5 p.m. today. It's a perfect spot to come on a little drizzly, rainy day because a lot of their stuff is undercover, and so, the weather doesn't matter. But I'm out here with volunteer Ben Harrell of here at the museum. Ben, tell me what all is going on here today.
Today they're having Trains, Trucks, and Tractors Day out here at the museum, and there's going to be a lot of vintage trucks and tractors out here along with trains. We're giving rides to the public on the big train as well as the park train, and I also brought my personal speeder out here. We're giving rides on it today too.
So I guess this is one of the trains that people are getting rides on.
This is the big train right here, yes.
And so tell me, what all kind of trains do you have out here?
They've got everything from steam engines to diesel engines, all types of passenger cars, cargo equipment, and then they've also got all the antique tractors and trucks that are going to be out here.
And how often do you guys have like an event like this, the trains and tractors and trucks?
They do that once a year.
Cool. And I guess, people are bringing out their own vintage trucks and tractors?
That is correct.
And are there a lot of people that have vintage trucks and tractors?
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of people that collect those.
And tell me, how long has this museum been here? This is a very impressive museum.
The museum's been open since the 70s, and it's been at this location since the early 2000s.
And how do you get your trains? I mean, do people, do you have to ship them in? Do people,
They bring them in by the railroad off the main line and back them into our property.
So you guys are connected to the main line?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. And I guess, Elizabeth, this is really impressive. In the earlier hour, I was looking at a steam locomotive that was just completely huge and impressive, and I was in awe of it. But here's one of the more modern CSX diesel engines, and it's just as impressive when you're able to get out on it, out next to it, because, a lot of times when we're in our car at a railroad crossing, we don't really see how big these things are because we're set back away from it. But when you get right up next to it, it's quite impressive. I mean, this thing is at least 20 feet tall, something like that. It's pretty big. And the steam engines are even more impressive because they're all iron, and you can imagine just what it was like to be back there behind that engine, shoveling the coal in there and, dealing with all that heat and the pressure and stuff. But if you come on down here, I mean, they got not only trains, but, you can check out the trucks and some tractors. And they also have some MARTA trains on here. And right up here, if you go to the airport a lot, you may even recognize the airport shuttle they have here. And they are getting some more airport shuttles, new ones. They're not sure if they're going to get any of donated ones because, they are updating the airport train. And this is kind of cool. But it's really, really, really neat down here. I mean, there's something kind of spooky, romantically spooky is what I'd call it. Because, it's old, mysterious train, abandoned maybe. These are old, they're not used anymore. But they were used a whole lot in the early 20th century until planes came along. And it kind of took away the soul, I'd say, of traveling. Because in a plane, you don't get to see the train or anything like that. You don't see the countryside. But on a train, you can see it all. You can see the countryside. You make your stops at depots. You meet people. You walk from car to car. You have your dining cars and things like that. And this is kind of like the old soul of America right here, Elizabeth, the way we used to do things.
I am an old soul.
So if you want to come on out here.
I'm an old soul
right,
too.
Yeah,
I get
same
it.
Here.
And you know what it makes me think about? I've always wanted to ride a train. I think about White Christmas, the movie, and they are going from Florida all the way up to Vermont, and they're sleeping in, their little train car, and I'm just like, oh, that would such an experience that I would just love to have one day, but few and far between. I know they still do it, but it's a lost experience.
I guess one of my favorite train movies, I think it was Runaway Train. It's an old kind of a thriller to prison escapees.
Uh-oh, we lost Eli.
And they get on a train. Oh no!
Nope, there you are. You're
still
back.
Here.
You're back.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, either Runaway Train or Butch Cassidy. Those are my train movies. But yeah, come on down here to the Southeastern Railway Museum. They got trains, trucks, tractors. I'm showing you all trains now because those are cool. These are cool. And they also have presidential cars here. Warren G. Harding and Franklin Delano Roosevelt's car are here. And you can come down and check those out. You can walk through these too. We did this earlier during the program. We walked through them. It's really, really interesting. And down here at Southeastern Railway Museum, they got tractors and trucks here too.
Go up front in a hurry. They
5
got the
p.m.
golf
today.
cart on
Costs
fire.
$19 to get in, 13 for 12 and under. And it's the perfect day to do it. It's not too hot.
Okay, we have to raise it up in the
All
back,
right,
that's all.
Eli, thank you. We're going to have to wrap you up. We're going
Go to the very back.
go to break. When we come back, we want to take you first, giving you. We'll come back to her. That was our reporter that's in Bristol. Can we give a live look at Bristol? We were trying to pull that up just a minute ago. There it is, Bristol, where the Braves will play. At the half hour, we're coming back. We're going to talk to our reporter on scene. She's live, going to give us the whole experience, the vibes, etc. Thanks for streaming with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Big day for the Braves playing at Bristol. Can't believe it. How's the weather going to be up there for them?
Not too different from here. Probably a little lower of a rain chance, but not completely dry. But look, I mean, you're in the South, you're in August, and to have temperatures in the 70s, it's kind of a treat, right? We're working out in that regard.
All right, cool. That's awesome. They're hopefully going to be better than here. Right?
Yes. Yeah. So we've got that wedge
Yeah.
today, and you might remember us typically talking about the wedge, more of a fall, winter type thing than a summertime thing. But it does happen in the summertime sometimes, and that is what we are seeing today across the area. It's already underway. The current temperatures are in the mid-70s, 75 in Atlanta, 74 in Canton, 75 in Blairsville. Mind you, it's 11:30 in the morning. Just last week at this time, we were talking about temperatures already in the 90s. So we're not there, and we're not going to get anywhere close to it here through the afternoon hours. So here's Fox 5 Live Viper right now. We do have some showers out there, mainly in northeast Georgia, really pick up in Gwinnett County, and then over towards Barrow County where Alexa was, and Jefferson and Jackson County over towards the Athens area. Pockets of heavier rain. Notice the lightning's turned on, and we're not seeing any lightning out of these. But through the day today, I am expecting to see more develop, particularly on the western side of the state. That's going to be the best chance of rain, with some of that bleeding into eastern Georgia. But we're all going to be cool. We're going to be looking at temperatures in the 70s for the most part through most of the afternoon, only topping off somewhere near 81 in Atlanta today. And that number was honestly a little generous. There is some wiggle room, right? Does Atlanta only make it to 79 today? I think the answer to that is it's possible. The other generous numbers are that 74 and 75 for Monday. Are there worlds where Atlanta doesn't make it to those numbers? Yes. We could be looking at low 70s tomorrow thanks to that cloud cover and that breeze. Mind you, our average high temperature is 90, so yeah, we're going to be far from it. 60% chance of rain today and tomorrow, down to 40% Monday through Friday. Our temperatures will slowly but surely come back up, so don't get used to it. Don't go buy all the pumpkin-flavored stuff just yet. Hold off. Give it a couple weeks, right? It's only the first week of August. But we will get back to 85 degrees by Friday. So if you do go do that and you get into the mindset and all of that and you buy into this whole fake fall thing, don't say you weren't warned.
Fake fall. I love it. Yeah, it definitely was soupy, misty
Yeah.
out there this morning. Like, if I could just stay in bed and just curl up.
Right.
Yeah, tease it, that fake fall. All right, Alex Forbes. All right. Like we said, we, following the latest in Bristol, want to go to our Kelly Price, who is there live. Kelly, how's it going?
It's good. The weather is a little gloomy outside right now. It's a little probably cooler up here in Bristol, Tennessee than it maybe is in Atlanta, but it was definitely very humid yesterday. So we'll see how, the temperatures kind of pick up maybe later today. Hopefully no rain.
This is a very unusual event for the Braves. Kind of walk us through what this is going to be.
Yeah, so the Speedway Classic for the Major League Baseball, the Speedway Classic that we're about to see between the Braves and Reds is the first of its kind. It's the first time that a MLB game is going to be played inside of a racetrack. It's also the first time we're going to see an MLB game played in the state of Tennessee. This is kind of an effort by MLB to go to different markets, different places where baseball isn't normally played or people aren't able to take in an MLB game. So Tennessee is one of those states that has, many other pro sports teams, NFL, MLS, NHL, all these other major pro teams, but they don't have an MLB team. And it's one of those states that's really been clamoring for baseball. So it's an effort by MLB to kind of come where the people want them and where the people are. And they're bringing together some different kind of fans, NASCAR fans, baseball fans. Maybe the Venn diagram of those two isn't as big as maybe some people expect. So they're going to this really cool spectacle of Bristol Motor Speedway. They call it the Last Great Coliseum because it's just a really cool NASCAR venue. And we'll see what it kind of looks like later today. I'm personally really excited as like a NASCAR fan and a baseball fan myself to see what it's going to look like. The angles, the dimensions and stuff are all going to be very interesting to see in the context of a racetrack. All the players and Brian Snicker, the manager of the Braves, talked about how it's going to be really interesting just to see what that kind of looks like. But at the end of the day, a lot of the players we talked to said that, hey, it's still the same game, still 60 feet between the pitcher and home plate, still 3 outs you got to get every inning, 9 innings, maybe more if it goes to extra innings like this series has already between the Reds and the Braves this past weekend. So it should be a really cool event. 85,000 fans are expected to be here. That's how many tickets they've already sold so far going into tonight. And that would be a record MLB crowd. The last time it was set was like 84,000 in like 1950 or something like that. So a really big crowd. The venue itself actually holds 150,000 people, but because of the configuration of it being a baseball diamond versus a racetrack, there's kind of less seating available than a normal race would be at Bristol Motor Speedway. So it'll be really cool to see the crowd as well.
Yeah, and Kelly, I just wanted to let you know, we were just taking a live look at Bristol Motor Speedway. If we can go back to that shot, it's such a great live look. You can tell it's definitely soupy there this morning, but definitely a different look in terms of the dynamics of seeing a racetrack and a baseball field. I mean, I'm curious as to what all went into sort of getting this all prepared and ready to go.
Yeah, a lot has gone into it. It's been really interesting to see throughout. This is kind of an event that's, I think, 4 or 5 years in the making from the first time they kind of started planning out what would this look like. Can we do this? To obviously now it actually happening. There's been a ton of like architects and consultants that have come in with the MLB to Bristol Motor Speedway to kind of map it out. How is it going to look? Because you have so many logistics that go into it. It's not just, hey, can we plop some turf in the middle of a NASCAR infield? There's dugouts. workouts, there's media, there's all kinds of fan experiences. There's all kinds of elements that are different and unique to a baseball experience than obviously a racing experience. So there's all those logistics go into play, and also, how can we level the playing field and make it flat versus, the NASCAR infield maybe isn't always flat. So they had to bring in dirt and all this kind of stuff. And fans out there can go online and see all the different kind of transformations that this area has made. I think they even knocked down part of or a whole building in the infield to make space for this baseball diamond and all the kind of stuff that goes around it. So a lot of stuff has obviously gone into this, a lot of planning, but MLB has done this a couple times now. They've had a couple one-off games. I'm sure baseball fans remember the Field of Dreams game they had in Iowa, literally in the middle of a cornfield a couple years back. They did Rickwood, I think that was last year. So MLB is making a big initiative to go to different places, like I said, where baseball isn't always played, or maybe historically was played and isn't there now, and kind of give these really cool spectacle events a different look. And there's a lot of planning that goes into it. It's really interesting to see all the logistics that do go into just making one game like this happen.
Wow, I feel like I have so many questions. I could keep you talking for ever, but we won't keep you because you have work to do, because you are covering it today for Fox. We appreciate you chatting with us. Last question though, before we go, you got there last night. I'm curious, are there more Braves fans or more Red fans?
Honestly, I feel like I've been seeing both. I feel like there's just so many Braves fans around the entire country. I've been here now with Fox 5 Atlanta for 6-7 years now, and every time we go on the road to cover the Braves, whether it's in the playoffs or any time, like there's always Braves fans because they have such a national reach and a regional reach, even in just the Southeast. You go back to, when the Braves were broadcast nationally on TBS, they drew in a lot of fans. Like I remember going to Milwaukee for one of those NLDS games against the Brewers, and there were so many Braves fans. I'm like, why are there Braves fans in Wisconsin? And they would be like, because I used to watch them growing up on TBS. So there's a huge reach for the Braves just as an organization on a normal basis. But the fact that this is such a cool spectacle, unique event, it has so many other people coming in to see it, not just people from Atlanta, but people from many other places who wouldn't normally get a chance to maybe see the Braves where they are, even much less in Tennessee. So I feel like there's always a lot of Braves fans everywhere we go. I've seen a lot of them so far. I've seen a ton of baseball fans in general so far, but I also think there's going to be just general baseball and racing fans who want to see what this looks like up close and personal. I know I'm one of those people that isn't really cheering for either side necessarily as a reporter, but I'm just interested to see what this is going to look like, what the crowd is going to bring, and just the whole experience. So I think there's a lot of just sports fans here as well.
Yeah, definitely a lot of, curiosity surrounding this. So I know all eyes are on your coverage later today. Thanks so much. We'll be following all of that throughout the day and evening. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we are going to go back to our Caitlin Pratt, who is eating peanuts on Peachtree Street. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for streaming with us. So glad that you're joining us this morning as we head into the afternoon. We were just in Tennessee talking to our Kelly Price just a bit ago about her coverage with the Braves today. But we want to bring it back here to Georgia, where we're all pretty known for our peanuts. And Caitlin Pratt is eating lots of peanuts down on Peachtree Street. Caitlin.
Could it be more Atlanta than that? Do I just need to wash down the peanuts with a Coca-Cola?
Yes.
I mean, on Peachtree Street here in Atlanta? Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, having so much fun here today, making some new friends. One of them just approached, said, hey, I heard you were coming here today. I got something for you. Yeah. Tell us about what you are peddling for your clients this morning here, and tell us about how long you've been here as far as this space and being a vendor.
So we started it back in 2018 as a side project. So I have a tech company I've been running since 2007. I started this as a sanity project.
A sanity project.
Yes, absolutely. So we tried it out for Thanksgiving, sold out. Christmas sold out. So it's my great-grandmother's recipe for mac and cheese. We did have dairy from a small farm down in Slocum, Alabama. So it's non-GMO, grass-fed organic milk and cream, organic noodles from Italy, and aged cheddar from England. It's a 100-year-old recipe.
Whoa, walk over there and let's take a look.
Come on, take a look.
Yeah. So Elizabeth, this is just one of the vendors here. Today is Peanut Day, and I'm going to get to that. But I also wanted to highlight some of these vendors who really make it a point to incorporate their family recipes.
I hate to interrupt you.
Yes.
I hate to interrupt you. Your shot keeps freezing
so we
up.
Blessed.
We can hear you. It's just if you can stay, I guess, where you are and move as little as possible.
Over 20-some markets throughout the metro Atlanta, including Lucy's and Spotted Trotter and the like. And we're also at multiple heights, both in the city as well as out in Seattle and DC. All of that started right here at Peachtree Road Farmers Market.
Wow. What's it like to know that something that has been cherished in your family is being enjoyed at other tables?
I tell people all the time, my great-grandmother's running the business. It's really just my hands you see, even though she's passed on.
Wow. This space, really special. It's been going now for what, 19 seasons? For those who've never been, what's it like? What's the atmosphere?
You know, it's amazing. People are here. Some folks are here literally before we open. This has become a big part of their weekend destination. Families love to come out here, not only have great food, but they have a playground. And it's really, the kids are out here. They're getting great food. They're getting things that are truly locally made, things that they can talk about the source of, and it's just an incredible atmosphere. Lots of people bring their dogs, so it's just an incredible place to hang out.
And the name of your business, one more time.
Annabelle's Mac and Cheese.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir, for talking with us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And hopefully my shot stays steady for you, Elizabeth. I'm going to walk slow. Hopefully it doesn't
You got to walk
get
really
too crazy. Oh my gosh. Usually it's more hustling and bustling, but I think the weather has maybe put a little bit of a damper on the crowd situation here. Still though, so many people, especially those dishing out breakfast delights, are sold out already. And I met up with a friend earlier. I want to talk more to him, Chef Dwayne Nutter. Let's clip this up here, sir.
There you go. I won't charge you rent.
Oh, you are something else.
No, I had a bunch of macaroni and cheese. I'm feeling good.
Tell me, where do you come up with your inspirations? Chef Nutter has a new cookbook, Cutting Up in the Kitchen. Where do you come up with your flavors, with the ingredients?
It's about life experiences and then trying to translate them into a story.
Yeah.
On the plate. That's kind of what I do. So it's a lot of things inspire me. Trees, leaves, certain smells. At the stoplight, people honking at me. I'm like jotting down an idea. So it always comes like that. I guess all creatives do the same thing and apply it to their own medium.
How would you describe your style, your flavors?
Oh, well, I guess I'm a little bit global and trying to also stand in familiar territory. So
and that's where the peanuts come in and the nuts come in?
The peanuts come in. That's where the bay leaves come in, because I always remind myself of home when I'm cooking. So I end up putting stuff in certain items that typically wouldn't go in those items. And then I'm just trying to satisfy my own curiosity.
Sure.
And I try to make it make sense. If it don't, then I'm just telling my stories.
All right, you know, Elizabeth earlier said to me, his name can't be Nutter. His last name can't be Nutter. No way, Jose.
Jose it is. Dwayne Nutter Butter. It's been that way since I was about 6 or 7. Yeah.
Well, the world is better for it, and our stomachs are better for it. That's for sure.
There's always a nut somewhere.
You are the best. I'm going to steal this back, and I'm going to send it back to you, Elizabeth, in the studio, having a good time here.
Yeah.
You still have a little bit time left to get down here, if not in the next half hour or so. Then next week, Saturdays from 8:30 to noon, every week on Peachtree, right behind the cathedral here.
You know, there's got to be something divine about that. No coincidence there with the name Nutter. All right, thanks so much, Caitlin Pratt. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we are going to take you to the other side of the tracks, the train tracks, where Eli Jordan is getting a tour. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins, taking a live look at downtown Atlanta. It's time right now, 11:51, almost shy of 10 minutes ahead of before noon, and it just looks very sleepy out there. So we're glad that you're streaming with us. We want to go to our Eli Jordan, who is taking a ride on trains this morning. Eli.
Elizabeth, I am at the Southeastern Railway Museum in Duluth. They're having a once-a-year event here. Trains, tractors, and trucks. You can come out here. It's happening until 5 p.m. And this is a really cool spot. You can see behind me. I mean, look at these passenger cars. They're cool. I mean, there's something about trains. But this is going on to 5 o'clock. It costs about $19 to get in, $13 for kids under 12. And this is all part of the scene here. I'm in the, I guess, the storage yard of the museum. But right now, speaking about trains, I have with us one of Fox 5 owns, Charlie Murphy, and he is a train enthusiast. Charlie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Eli. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, and so tell me, you have a YouTube channel, right?
I do. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel called V12 Productions, and I talk all about railroad history, railroad current events. You know, the goal is education, but also to get people interested in trains, because I feel like, you know, sometimes we don't really think about how important they are. You see a train at a railroad crossing, it's just kind of an inconvenience, but there are a lot of facets to this hobby that are that are really interesting. I mean, you've got the history. You can do all kind of deep dives into the history. You've got the operations, how do things work, and you've also got the current events. I mean, right now we're looking at a very big news story with the UP-NS merger. So there's a lot of different facets of this hobby. Model railroading, that's how I got interested in it, was model railroading. My grandfather was into it. I got into it. I caught the bug.
I mean, that's just, I mean, a lot of our daily lives depend on the railroad, right?
Oh, they do. I mean, these trains, obviously they haul passengers, but more and more it's all about freight, right? You've got ships coming in from overseas. The products are on a shipping container. They get put on the railroad. It's the most efficient way to ship goods.
You're involved with the museum, correct?
I am. I try to give them publicity on my channel if I can. I try to get the Fox 5 to come out whenever I can, but yeah, they do a great job. I mean, you can see right all around us, we've got history everywhere. I mean, if you're interested in photography, come out here and take pictures. Obviously, a lot of you guys probably have
you get
kids.
some really nice shots with some photography, especially right at dusk with these windows here and stuff.
Great photography. They welcome that, but obviously they welcome a lot of children here too.
So real quick, tell me about your V12 channel on YouTube, because it's all about trains, right?
It is. It's all about trains. It's all about educating people on why are trains interesting, and also what's going on right now, current events. And we also, we visit places like this to talk about history.
So what do you think the appeal is about trains? There's a certain, a nostalgic, romantic thing about trains, it seems like.
For me, honestly, it's all about when you're trackside, you see one of these big trains go by. I mean, it's exhilarating. It's really exciting to me. And riding a train, you're going to see parts of the country that you're never going to get to see on the road.
Or in a plane.
Or in a plane, because, you're so high or you're on the highway. I mean, you're on a train, you're going through people's backyards.
And so, I mentioned earlier, I was like, when we kind of broke away from train travel, America kind of lost its soul when it came to travel.
Yeah,
in a way, because
you talk about the romance of the rails, right? It's kind of gone. I think that Amtrak is trying to bring it back a little bit, and they do the best with what they've got. But yeah, I think it's, when you ride a train now, it's not necessarily about, getting somewhere. It's about the journey, right? It's about enjoying the ride.
So real quick, how do we find your channel if we want to learn more about what you're doing?
I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook. It's called V12 Productions.
V12 Productions. All right, cool. V12 Productions, Charlie Murphy's True Railway Stories. You can check him out. And but right, he participates down here at the Southeastern Railway Museum. And what's going on here today is trains, trucks, and tractors. People are bringing their vintage trucks, their vintage tractors out here. People are checking them out. But me, I'm just loving all these trains, and it's just really cool to check them out, Elizabeth. I mean, they got all sorts. They even have passenger buses here, the old school ones. Go ahead.
If those cars could talk, I mean, wow, those vintage.
Oh yeah, I know. It's just
wow.
There's so much, yeah.
And I loved his point about that he caught the bug. It really is a thing. I have a friend who loves trains, takes pictures, does photography for trains, and does the small mini model trains. I mean, I guess that it really is a thing. Once you catch the bug, you can't uncatch it, and it becomes just something that is definitely appreciated in a following. So that's really cool. Thanks so much, Eli Jordan. We're going to take a short break, take you into the noon hour. When we come back, we talking back to school. We've got everything you need to know after this break. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm sure you're probably getting ready to go back to school with your children, and everyone's got to have the best supplies and the best book bags. But we're talking about backpack safety today. Pediatric orthopedist Dr. Sanjay Ajur joining me now. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, how's it going?
So talk about, as parents Hey, are going Jason, any shopping, what comments? do they need to look for?
Yeah, so there's a lot of backpacks out there, of course, and the biggest things that you want to look for in a backpack is a backpack that fits your child the best. So some features to look for in a backpack. I'm just going to pull a backpack up here. You want to make sure that the backpack has 2 wide padded shoulder straps. If you can find one that has a chest strap or a waist strap, that can help distribute weight as well. You can also find a backpack with a padded backing that can help prevent poking from sharp objects like laptops or pencil bags. And if you can find a backpack that has multiple compartments, that can kind of help with distribution as well.
So how do you know if your child is carrying too much weight without putting it on a scale? I mean, is there sort of a kind of a rule of thumb?
Yeah, so typically we say your backpack shouldn't weigh more than 10 to 15 pounds, or not pounds, 10 to 15% of your child's body weight. So if you have a 100-pound child, that's 10 to 15 pounds. But if you see that they're leaning forward, or if they're getting pulled backwards, it's probably too heavy.
So gone are the days that students are carrying a textbook for each subject. I remember my book bag was always way too heavy when I was in school, but now with technology, has technology lightened the load? Are y'all seeing less backpack related issues?
Unfortunately, I feel like because of COVID, I feel like sometimes kids are not able to use their locker as much, and I feel like that hasn't phased back in as much. Big things to kind of think about though is if you are having a heavy backpack is trying to distribute the weight properly. So you want to put your heavier stuff closer to your back versus the lighter stuff near the back of the backpack. If you do have lockers, make sure that you're using them and only carrying 1 period or 2 periods at a time rather than your half of your day. And the other thing is to make sure that your backpack is fitting appropriately as well.
Anything else our students and our viewers need to know as we head into the school year and things to look for to stay safe?
Yeah. So good thing about backpacks is it doesn't cause any long-term problems or any scoliosis or anything. But if you do have back pain, listen to your child and try and look and see if the straps are snug and make sure that that backpack is sitting in their lower part of their back and not hanging really low. The other thing is you could always talk to your pediatrician or one of us here at Children's to see if we can make any accommodations for your child, whether it be sometimes rolling backpack or even just extra time just to change classes, just so you're not walking around with all this back pain.
Rolling backpacks was a great thing that came out, and I definitely got one when I was in school. Some great advice, Dr. Sanjay Ajur. Thank you so much. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Good afternoon. We made it to 12:05. Time right now, 12:05. It's a gloomy start to your Saturday. Alex Forbes standing by. Alex.
Yeah, Elizabeth, we've got that low cloud cover, in some cases some showers, and some really cool temperatures. If you're watching this time last weekend, we were already at like 92 right now. Well, 75 in Atlanta, and that's going to just about do it for us here through the afternoon hours. So while it's still humid outside, it is much cooler. 76 in Cherokee County, 75 in Gainesville. This is where you pick up the shower activity now in Hall and Gwinnett counties. We've seen them for a couple hours in those spots, extending back out towards the Athens area and then back down towards Augusta. More where that came from later on this afternoon. But it really is the tale of two stories with the temperatures, right? 75 in Atlanta. Meanwhile, it's 85 in Macon, just about 70 miles down the road. So that's that wedge of cooler air riding down the Appalachian Mountains here. 84 in Birmingham, 84 in Montgomery. And so, yeah, let's enjoy the cool stuff because our neighbors are not. Here's how it shapes up through the afternoon. Expecting to pick up some more radar activity here in just a little bit. And then as we do so, we're going to mix in some pockets of some heavier rain later on this evening. Down to the south, it's possible to see one or two stronger storms. That would be Troup, Meriwether, Pike, Lamar counties and southward. Not overly concerned about it, but something we'll keep an eye on. I think you've got to be above 80 degrees in order to see that. And then otherwise, cloudy and rainy to the north here in the Atlanta area. And we're not going to put the activity to bed entirely through the overnight hours. At times, we will still see some scattered showers, so you might hear some rain on the roof at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's certainly going to be in the mix. Then for tomorrow, we're not going to get anywhere close to today's temperatures. Here we are at 9 a.m., 71 in Atlanta, 68 in Gainesville, and 68 in Athens. They don't move. The temperatures stay just about the same throughout the entire day thanks to that wedge and that cloud cover in place on your Sunday. So while it might not look the best outside, it's at least going to feel a lot better than it has over the past couple of days in the metro area. Some more details on that southerly severe risk, we'll call it. Damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour. It's a low end level 1, right? It's not even a 2. Something we'll keep an eye on through the afternoon. And just highlighting again today, I think that better chance of rain is going to be on the west side of the state as opposed to the eastern side of the state at 60% versus 40%. So still a chance of rain nonetheless, but maybe not as great in places like Athens as opposed to Dallas. Tomorrow will be breezy, a 60% chance of showers and storms. That's down to 40% Monday, and that carries us through the rest of the week now as temperatures warm about 10 degrees over the course of the week, from 75 to about 85 by the time we get to Friday. So Elizabeth, this is fake fall, all right? Don't get used to it. The 70s are here for a short period of time, and if you do get used to it, just don't blame me.
Alex Forbes, thanks so much. Wanted to give you a live look at fake fall right now. I mean, you wouldn't even know that it is August 2nd at noon. Wow, gloomy start to your weekend, but a lot of folks are still out and about. Want to go to our Caitlin Pratt, who is on Peachtree Road, where they are eating peanuts. Caitlin.
Yes, it's a peanut day here at the farmers market. A farmers market, by the way, that is every Saturday from 8:30 to noon. So they're starting to wrap up here right now. If you missed it, don't worry. You can come next weekend and any Saturday until December 20th. I mentioned a peanut day, and yes, Georgia peanuts taking center stage over here. I want to introduce you to Leslie, who's going to tell us just about why this crop is so vital for Georgia's economy.
Yeah, so it's a once-a-year crop. You know, we plant in early May and we harvest in September and October. And it is the #1 cash crop in the state of Georgia. And we grow 52 to 53% of the entire U.S. crop of peanuts every year.
In the United States?
So when you buy a jar of peanut butter, you are most likely buying peanuts that were grown here in Georgia, no matter what variety you buy.
Wow. And we were talking earlier about the age to introduce peanuts to young kids. What is that now?
So you introduce at 4 to 6 months. A baby who has eczema or who has already had a reaction to milk or eggs is considered high risk. They're the most important to introduce at 4 to 6 months. 86% less peanut allergy among high-risk kids if you introduce at 4 to 6 months.
Wonderful. Now, it must be really satisfying, especially for the farmers here in Georgia, to see their product eaten by everyone from a child to adults having, you know, a lunch break.
Yeah, it's peanuts go in every meal part of the day, every kind of snack, every ethnic cuisine. They had some peanut butter, hoisin peanut butter sauce.
Yes.
Breakfast burritos this morning that have been very popular, but also your regular PB&J.
Absolutely. Any closing thoughts just about today? I mean, so many people scooping
Yeah.
up some peanuts along the way, saying hello.
Yeah, it's been a great day talking to people about peanuts and where they grow. And we had an easy peanut butter cookie recipe on our website, peanutbutterlovers.com, that anybody can go to and make.
It was so tasty. And I'm going to ask you this, Leslie. I don't know if you'll know the answer, but our host for Fox Local mentioned that back in the day, peanuts used to be dropped off at political offices. And I don't know if that's still the case. Free peanuts for everybody.
That is still the case.
It is
Georgia
the
Peanut
case.
Commission's Georgia's Peanut Farmers sends peanuts every month to all of the state offices here in the state capitol, and also to our representatives in Washington, D.C.
Hilarious. Awesome. There you go, Elizabeth, getting you answers.
Caitlin, that's awesome. Thank you.
Leslie, thank you so much.
And I also wanted to add to her point about the peanuts and the industry and being just so hyper-focused here in Georgia. When I lived in Europe, Caitlin, I lived there for a semester and I started to crave peanut butter and went to every store I could find and there was no peanut butter. So we take it for granted that we live in the heart of peanut country and that it is so available to us. So thanks so much for your reporting. We appreciate it. We are going to take a short break. When we come back, we are actually chatting with a nonprofit that is giving back on 9/11. And I know it's just around the corner. So don't go away. You're going to want to listen to this. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins. This is News Now. We are coming up on the 24th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, a day that no one will forget, a tragic day where the U.S. had the deadliest terror attack in history. And through that tragedy, though, something good came out of it. A 9/11 nonprofit. We're joined by Jay Wienick, one of the founders who started 9/11 Day. Jay, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us how 9/11 Day was born.
You know, it really began just months after the terrorist attacks. Along with my colleague and friend, David Payne, we wanted to try to create a ritual in this country that focused on the way the nation came together in the immediate aftermath. People put aside their differences. We focused on our common humanity. People from everywhere wanted to pitch in. And we thought, why not try to create a day, a ritual in this country each 9/11, where people do good deeds. It was as simple as that, really. And so we've been at this for more than 20 years, and we have grown 9/11 Day into the nation's largest annual day of charitable engagement. Millions of people all over the country, each 9/11, including, of course, in Atlanta, come together with acts large and small, doing amazing things.
And of course, Atlanta hosting the event again this year. How many times has Atlanta hosted?
Several times. Atlanta's been one of the best markets for the meal packs. We stage these large-scale signature meal packs in cities across the country. In fact, this year we'll be doing 24 cities where thousands and thousands of caring Americans are coming together, including, of course, in Atlanta, to pack meals. And those meals stay in the communities that in which those meals are packed. They're shelf-stable meals. They have they're going to people who are at risk of hunger in cities all over the country, which unfortunately remains the case.
And you said that Atlanta being one of the best locations that y'all have done it. What makes it? Is there a need, a demand? What factors do y'all consider when y'all decide where to go next?
Yeah, we have to have enough support from the community, and Atlanta has been a tremendous supporter. I mean, we have dozens of Atlanta area companies who are sending their employees to volunteer at these 2-hour long shifts that they volunteers pack in. And it's just been tremendous, really. Atlanta has been one of the best cities for the meal packs for several years now. We didn't start the meal packs until 2016. We started with one meal pack in New York City, and each year we just keep adding more and more cities, and it's tremendous. But of course, the meal packs are only just a small fraction of the way Americans all over the country participate. Upwards of 30 million people a year mark the day by doing good deeds on 9/11. So it's by far the largest annual day of charitable engagement in the nation.
And so talk about the initiatives here in Atlanta on 9/11. What are the meal packs? How many are y'all going to make? And it's going to benefit, obviously, folks right here in the community.
There'll be more than 1,500 volunteers packing meals in Atlanta, and they'll probably collectively pack over 500,000 meals. And then those are donated to the Atlanta Community Food Bank that comes and picks up the meals, and then they distribute it to the individuals and families who are at risk of hunger. So these are high energy events. Of course, each packing shift pays reverence to the day. There's a ceremony at the beginning of each shift. We mark the day. It is a solemn day, but then everybody gets to work, and there's a DJ and music and competition between the volunteer packing tables, and it really is. It's really a rewarding feeling. And for me in particular, I'm a 9/11 family member of a first responder who perished on 9/11, and I can tell you that this is really one of the good things that's come out of such a tragedy. And it's so meaningful to me and to so many in the 9/11 community and otherwise that people around the country rally around and do good deeds as a way to pay tribute to those who were lost.
So sorry for your loss. And I guess every year, though, is just a reminder of what happened, but also, like you said, a reminder of trying to do something good. We're about 4 weeks out as we prepare for 9/11 Day. How can folks get involved? If they're watching this, they might want to donate, they might want to volunteer. Can they? And how can they do that?
The best first stop is our website, 911day.org. There's so much information there about how to participate in this national observance, either as part of a group or an organized activity or as an individual. We make it really simple to participate in the observance. There's educational tools there. There are video tools there. There's really so much on the website. So I suggest people go to 911day.org to find out more about the meal pack program and other ways that they can participate.
Thank you so much for chatting with us and explaining the foundation of the mission that was established out of a tragic day, 9/11. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Thanks for streaming with us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins. 12:22 is your time right now. We want to go to our Eli Jordan, who is spending the day on trains. Eli.
Hey, Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm down here at the Southeastern Railway Museum. They're having trains, trucks, and tractors here till 5 o'clock today. $19 to get in if you're under 12. $13 to get in. It's a really cool scene here, though. I am right next to this awesome locomotive that used to pull some presidents around. Look how awesomely large this thing is. It was built in Schenectady Works, New York, back in 1910. I can barely say Schenectady. But check out how large these freaking wheels are. These things are taller than I am. This is insane how massive some of these locomotives were and all that. But we're down here in Duluth. They have trains. They have tractors. They have boxcars. They have passenger cars. Now the SA here stands for Savannah Atlantic, is what I was told.
Oh.
And this is the coal car for that big, massive engine right there, steam locomotive. And this right here, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, as you know, hung out in Warm Springs, Georgia. Well, this is the Marco Polo car that he would ride down from D.C. and go to Warm Springs to go get his relief for his polio and whatnot. And Warren G. Harding, they don't know why they have Warren G. Harding's car here, but other President Warren G. Harding, his car is right here as well, too. So, and check out these checkered cabs. I got a lot of really cool stuff here. So if you're into these, we had Charlie Murphy on earlier talking about how, caught the bug. I walked in here and I was like, I think I'm catching something. This is really cool. And you walk in, it's like, wow. I mean, being up this close to locomotives and stuff, it's really, really, really neat. It's cool. I dig it. So this is going on till 5 o'clock. You can take some train rides, and you can they got a speeder car ride. It's a little car that they take in the mornings to check, back in the day, to check the rail lines to make sure there were no bent tracks, trees on the tracks, or anything like that. They're giving free rides. And you can come down here, hop on that, hang out. Here's some box cars. This all, I've brought this up before, but this reminds me of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the money car. They're trying to blow up the safe in the money car. They use too much dynamite and they blow up the whole car. And it's a entertaining scene. But also too, they got
you were talking about the
2 of these speeder cars right down here. Yeah, I'm getting down here to the speeder cars.
Oh, okay. Well,
so here's the 2 speeder cars. We were on one of these earlier, and this is a speeder car right here. This goes out. This is a 1970s model, I think, or maybe 1950s model. This is the 1970s model. So yeah, they go out. Back in the day, they would go out and they'd travel about 50 miles down the track, make sure that there are no trees, no rocks, no cows or bent tracks or anything like that. Then they'd come back and then they'd release the trains to go do what they needed to do. But we're down here at the Southeastern Railway Museum.
Such a cool assignment,
for trains,
Eli.
Trucks and tractors.
As we wrap up, I wanted to bring it back to the whole presidents and trains. Interesting fact, I remember seeing George H.W. Bush when he was running for re-election. He was on a train in Gainesville campaigning, standing on the back of the train. Looked just like that train that you're looking at right there, one of those historic trains. So definitely a historical moment. Don't know many presidents that go up to Gainesville, Georgia anymore, but definitely a different time back in the late 80s, early 90s. But thanks so much, Eli. We appreciate it. We appreciate you streaming with us today. We want to give you a final look at Tennessee, Bristol, where the Braves will play today. So thanks for streaming with us. We appreciate it. Stay with us for continuing coverage. We're going to send it over now for our regular programming.